Shut up and sit down.
One go, there you go. We got there a little bit late tonight, folks, with things, but hello. Welcome to the Friday Frolic with me, Festa67's workshop, how.to. And we got the canoe himself, Foxy Foxx.
Evening all.
So welcome to our inane 2 hours of total ineptitude and drivel. Any of you of a nervous disposition might want to strap yourselves to your chairs now, because
life as you knew it has ended.
That was right in my ear, that was.
So there you go. So anyway, if you want to help me keep this alive, the usual blurbage coming, you can head over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or click the join button below, or the $sign to leave a super chat. All goes in a big kitty and helps pay for. So there you go. You also get access to the Zoom 24/7 off-air hangout, which I will endeavour to try and pop into at the weekend now that I'm back on air. So if you're about, folks, and you fancy catching up with myself, then I'll be popping in and out of there at some point over the weekend. Talking of the groovy gang, let's have a little looky-loo at the chatty pots, shall we? First here, we've got Sophie with the waving tea, biscuits, cakes, pumpkins, and ghosty calls. Hello, Sophie. How you doing?
Sophie.
Lovely to see you. Good news, my mum is back home from the hospital and she's doing well. Big hugs for me mama, Sophie. Big hugs.
Big hugs.
Absolutely. Big hugs for mum. Hope she's doing all right, Sophie, because I can sympathise, and so can Fox, because we got poorly mumsicles as well. Sophie says, I know it's not Warhammer Wednesday, but I may have some questions regarding colour schemes. I hope you don't mind. No, fire away. That's what we do.
Go for it.
Straight in with a bench, because, don't forget, folks, belly bench, beverage biscuit, and all of them. Sophie's got Space Marine Captain with jump pack, belly tomato ketchup, flavoured crisps. Beverage is Zero.Paints. Bill's in, says, evening, everyone. I made it tonight. Hello, Bill. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Obviously, we've got to have benches in as well, because, it is belly bench, but where Bill's concerned, benches, because he might have a biscuit on each bench. Who knows?
Yeah, he might have a bench on each biscuit.
He's been playing a bit of stream at a night. Shameless plug. Good man. Got camera coming, put the wazoo, every angle covered. If ever bring me my mic, I might actually get it finished. Yeah. Always looks easy live streaming until you actually do it. That's the best advice we can give you. It always looks easy, the other end of the camera, but until you're actually sat there doing it, suddenly you might all get an appreciation of sometimes what it can be like. We used to get heavily criticised, didn't we, in the chat? You didn't read my specific message out, and they would get on their iOS, and suddenly when they was streaming and we'd go in their chat and say, you've not read a comment, they'd get all flappy on air at us. It's like, now you know what it feels like.
How many times has someone said to you, I used to criticise and now I've actually done it?
I've had it multiple times. All them times I used to nitpick, mate, and now I'm doing it myself. It ain't as easy. So, honestly, Bill, I wish you all the success in the world at it, mate.
Absolutely.
I really do. But, you do get an appreciation of how difficult it can be. It's like hosting. It's easier being a guest on a stream than it is being a host. It really is. Sophie's got homemade biscuits, cakes, cookies, and muffins for everyone. Happy days. Good to see Bill's getting a Yeti as well. It's best investment I made was my Yeti, I must admit.
Good choice.
Max is in, says evening Festa Foxx, and everyone in chat. Hello, Max. Big hugs to you, big hugs to Carol, and big hugs to Larry. I hope you're all doing all right. What else have we got going on there? Everyone's saying hello to Max. You've got Bill in with a belly. Oh, look at this one, mate. Fish finger sandwiches. Bench USS.
Massive juicettes.
Lots of crap that needs sorted. And Bevy is coffee. Baboon is Frank. There you go.
We need to know what he's got on the fish finger sandwiches, though, like what sauce.
Oh, it's got to be brown sauce in it, but Sophie says, why the ghosts hate the rain? It's because it dampens their spirits. So he did this there.
Here all week.
Lord PJ is in. He says, morning, Colin Fox and all the Freaky Friday, frolicking Frolicers on the Freaky Friday, frolicking Frolicers chat.
Did very well with that one.
Do I get points for that, Peach? Because he's desperately trying to trip me over with my flumbity flumness. I know he is.
He is, isn't he?
Sophie said, like the PJ, as is Bill. He says, I resemble that comment, so he did that. Everyone said hello to Sophie, Bill, etc. Everyone's got the devilments and the emojis going on. Everyone said hello to Max there. Remember to like, subscribe, and feed Sophie chocolate, says Sophie. Yes, like and subscribe. It all helps out with the algorithm, folks.
Yep.
We've often said it, but it does matter. You know, a thumbs up costs nothing. It is free. Same as a subscription. I go through my stats every now and then, and it's amazing how many people watching this back are not subscribers.
Not subscribed. It's like, why?
It's free to subscribe.
Yeah.
So,
and then you won't miss out on future ones.
Yeah. And just ring that bell when you're there and select all.
Yeah.
And if you're on a mobile device, hype the video, buy it in the carousel, scroll across the hype and press in hype. Really helps me out.
And if you get an advert, sit through it because it helps Festa out bigly time.
Yeah. Jamesy Boy is in, says, evening Festa Foxx and chat. Hello, Jamesy.
Cotter.
How you doing, mate? Lovely to see you in. Everyone said hello to Jamesy. Oh, we got royalty in. We got the bobbins in.
Nope.
I am not here, he says. It is all a dream.
What kind of dream is that, though?
Absolutely. We got the figure painting god.
The figure painting god.
The maestro himself.
Ron Atom is in with H, says I, Colin Fox and all in chat.
Hey, Ron.
We've got Dominic Cuckoo in saying good evening.
Dominic.
Good evening, Dominic. How you doing, my friend? Lovely to see you in, mate, as usual. Love to you and your wife, mate. I hope you're both doing well and everything's going sweet as a nut in the world of Dominic. Everyone said hello, Dominic. Everyone saying hello to Ron. ECI, the hoe is in. Hi, all. Been a minute or two. Belly, chorizo, and rice. Bench a 144th GMC detailing and detail. And I hope all you're well. ECI, though, lovely to see you in. This is the guy many, many, many years ago that came in a show that I was on. And they been the complete and utter plank that I am. I said, what part of the world are you from then, mate?
Where are you from then, buddy?
That was on the bottom one, wouldn't it, mate, if you remember rightly?
Yeah.
Because you made a point of pointing that out straight away. It's like, who's in the name, Carl? And I was like,
it's
oh, yeah.
Where could you be from, ECI, though?
Absolutely. Bill says mayo on the fish fingers. Now, that's a different choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a working solution.
Sophie says if she's missed anyone, hello, happy days. Bill says only 56 sleeps till Xmas, folks. Better get your stash wish lists to Santa. Yeah. Not long till January is my motto.
Yep.
PJ's given me 10 house points. Well done, that, mate. I must try harder. Jamesy says, I always think it should be follow rather than subscribe, as it gives the wrong idea. Exactly. I think they should get the buttons the other way round and swap join into subscribe and subscribe as join. Because most people that have a subscription to a part work or a magazine, it's a paid thing. And I think that's why, because I've had people message me before going, how much it costs to subscribe? That's why on my part work videos, you'll notice now, I've got a little thing at the end that says, subscribe, it's free. Because a lot of people still ask me, how much does it cost?
Yeah, I've had people ask me that, and it's like, hey,
yeah, but no, it's a good thing, mate. You know, I think it should be followed because, you know, anything other than subscribe, because subscription always, I don't know why I'm doing that. But always relates to a monetary thing, doesn't it? So I did that. Tickle.
I'm more concerned that you're just doing one, not two.
Well, you know, I got my other hand full, mate.
Oh, no. You're giving James ideas again in his brain, aren't you?
Absolutely. Back says
you've got really big hands as well. You know,
I have. You know, my mum used to say, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, son, always marry a girl with small hands. Okay, Mum. But yeah, Max says, yeah, we're doing okay. Good news, Larry's finally up. Good, great news, Larry. I'm glad you're back home, mate. Been thinking of you, fella. And we will get together, mate. And I need to mess with you a bit before Christmas, mate, because I need to get your belly chuckling again, mate. So I'll let you get a few days under your belt. And they're going to come and kidnap you in an hangout, mate, and mess with you. Bless him. He is one of the most loveliest people out there. He really is. I admire the guy. I really do. Bobby says only 8 sleeps left till Telford. Yes, but then bear in mind, I am the bloke who went a week early to Telford.
Yes. I mean, we've all done the thing where we get ready for school on a Saturday, but going to Telford a week early, that's...
Got my dates wrong,
that's
mate.
the thing.
At least I admitted it, because he was like, oh, yeah, it's Telford this week. And I went, don't even go there. And he's like, why have you been all defensive? But no reason. He went, you went there yesterday, didn't you? And I was like, might have done. Yeah. Might have done. But anyway, I went to the other event that was on, so yeah. Bobbins says, been contemplating going to Telford this year as it's only 2 hours from here, says Bill. Happy days, mate. Good luck to you. Me personally, it's a week out of my life because I have to 24 hours rest after I get there, hotel, then go there and rest, then come back, rest. It's like the expense of the petrol and a week's hotel bill is like, yeah, it's just not viable.
Was it still wax stock the week before?
Yes.
Yes, I used to work wax stock.
Yes.
Good show for cars.
Yeah. And not only that, the carnage I would cause gunning round Telford in me pram, I'd be forever getting bumped into by people because they don't really notice people that are in wheelchairs, do they, when there's a big crowd of people. So it's... And I can get everything I want online, so there's no point.
Yeah, and plus you can't really legally put spikes on your wheels, can you? So
no. There you go. So anyway, that's the chat up to date.
Yes.
Davesy Boy says, I never really got ready for school on a Saturday. It was hard enough getting ready for the weekdays. Yeah, I used to get escorted into school. And it was like,
Yeah, I did it twice. Got myself up and washed and ready and out the front door. I'm like, oh, wait, hang on. Oh,
yeah, absolutely, mate. Even when I went to that school where the classroom doors were locked, I'd still be late. So, yeah.
They were locked to keep you in, and then they locked them to keep him out.
Exactly, mate, exactly. Anywho, Ron Hatton has put in a £5 super chat. Thank you very, very much, Ron.
Very kind.
Yeah, thank you very much, folks. That's what a super chat looks like. Ron's got a bit of air guitar going on screen. So, yeah, in case you wonder, that's what it looks like.
Now, thanks. Ron, is that a shut Fox up super chat? Do I have to go quiet for 5 minutes? Because don't forget, folks, if I get on your nerves throughout the show and you want me to shut up, you can do a super chat. Each pound is a minute that I shut up.
Absolutely. Just doing
Anybody with £1,000 to spare?
Little message of thanking you. Whilst I'm doing that, what have you been up to? How's you and how's my mum, mate?
Mum Wolf is fine as always. She's in bed. She's a little bit poorly sick at the minute, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Well, she's had a short day today, so she's in bed at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm fine and dandy. Thank you very much. Not been doing much this week. But tonight I will be carrying on with my Tiger Wagon Mark II.
Oh, nice.
Detail painting and getting the tracks all greyed up and stuff. I'll do something with the checker plate silver bits tonight, I think, as well.
Yeah.
What about you? How are you doing and what are you doing?
I put my fan on. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, I've not really done a lot this week. Been tied with micro, as you know. She's having a bit of a poorly bad week this week, bless her heart. So you're watching this back, Mum. Come on, girl. Keep fighting, love. So yeah, I've been kind of tied with that side of things. So not much time at the bench. Yeah, so at the moment, as you know, I tend to come in, do the shows, and then I'm off again, either upstairs resting because, So it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy at the moment, but I'm trying to make more time so that I can be at the bench a bit more than I have been. But
yeah,
it's not quite working as I want at the moment, but we'll keep plodding away.
You said higgledy-piggledy again. I like that.
Higgledy-piggledy, yeah, absolutely. It is a good word, isn't it?
It is a very good word.
So how many of you in the chat are venturing up to Telford then? Have you got any plans to purchases at Telford? Are you putting models on shows?
Have you taken out your second mortgage?
Are you putting models in competition?
Yeah.
Are you going to be voting in competitions? You know, I like to know what people are getting out of the show. Because I am inquisitive.
You are.
You might have noticed.
You like to know what's going on. It is the way.
Absolutely.
I need some Lamian medium.
Lamia media.
Media.
Try and catch as much on camera. There you go, Carl. Lots of people can see what you're doing, mate. Hugh Golden is in, saying evening. Oh, hello, Hugh. How are you, buddy?
Hello.
Bill says, I haven't driven more than 8 miles at a time for months, so I'm having to think if a 4-hour drive is going to do me in or not. Yeah, this is the problem I have with travelling. You know, when I went to Mugello for my last MotoGP, that's when I made the conscious decision not to fly again because it was just too much. And when you're in another country, because we were supposed to be going out to LA, and then obviously the Velociraptor hit. And when that all dissipated, the insurance to get me stateside was astronomically expensive because of the medications and the, you know, the duty of care and all of that lot. It was such a high policy price, it just wasn't viable. It wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it just wasn't worth it.
And then I wanted to get my last sporting event out of the way, which was MotoGP in Mugello, because it was Rossi's sort of swan song of his career. And I couldn't believe how just a short stop flight to Italy knocked me for 6.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, I'm done now.
Yeah, that's as far as it's going to go.
Yeah, you know, and that was it, you know, because it is, as you know, travelling is a problem. So
yeah. I mean, for his 4-hour car journey, I'd just say build a half-hour services break into it at least once.
Yeah.
If not twice.
Yeah, a couple of mini breaks, B roads.
Yeah, go and get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever and a sausage roll.
Yeah, most B roads will have a greasy spoon at every roundabout. Yeah. So
yeah,
plenty of coffee breaks, rest and relax and recuperate. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not on the motorway, you can just stop if there's no way. Just stop in a lay-by and rest for a minute.
Yeah. The way you've got to do it, Bill, is if you think you need a rest, then obviously you should have had a rest sooner. Yeah. You know.
I mean, don't do what I do, which is basically, if I get a bit tired, I just turn up ELO on the stereo even louder. It doesn't... Yeah. It's not recommended.
You know, I mean, my eldest had his second graduation a little while back. And even going out for the day with that, I was beat.
Yep.
You know, that was only in Guildford, which isn't far from where I am. I was beat.
Thing is, it's even just, you know, if you're passengering, it's still a lot of hard work, especially if you're not normally mobile and you spend a lot of day, like you spend all your day in the house and you most of the time just sitting. Yeah,
because being unsteady on the old pins, you know. Yeah. And,
so even a little bit of just motoring about and stuff is going to spong you out.
It's surprising. It's frustrating, don't get me wrong, because it makes you realise that you're not the person you once was, you know. But
no.
Once you've got that out of the way and stopped feeling sorry for yourself, you're like, I need to find somewhere to actually sit down because I'm about to fall down type thing, you know.
Yeah, once you stop sulking about it, because you realise it's just the way it is. And and you're like, I just accept it now. And
there's been blokes, we all think that we're invincible, don't we?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. But then, you know, when something minor does happen, of course, it's completely a brain tumour, even though I've just stubbed my toe. I've clearly got like a brain tumour going on or something.
Yeah, you get a hangnail and you think you've got to have your finger amputated.
Yeah. It's the worst thing ever. But that's what makes us so adorable to the ladies, you see, that we're so pathetic that they can't help but love us.
Oh, the amount of times I've done that with pins. I had a super glue bottle and I thought I'll just put a pin up in the nozzle, so I held it and I pushed the pin in and it went straight up the centre of my fingernail. Underneath it. It was like, oh, that smarted a tad.
Underneath the fingernail. Yeah, that doesn't sound good, like fun at all.
Yeah, there was
my friend tried to open a super glue bottle by grabbing the lid in his teeth.
Yeah.
You can imagine how that ended.
Yeah. Yeah, I had my Dick Dastardly moment. It was like,
You would have been proud, though, because I just mocked him endlessly.
Yeah, good boy.
I phoned the hospital and said, is there any advice? And the guy on the other end of the line says, yeah, tell him not to be a dick next time and not to use his mouth. So I passed that on. I said, that's what he said. It's like, damn, I pay his wages. It's like, yeah, just leave it. Give it up, love. You're the one that opened the super glue with your mouth, so I don't think you've got any grounds for... He's like, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he actually said, ah, but, you know, I knew what he meant.
Let's have a look at chat. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks for your kindness, Ron, by the way, in the chat there. Jamesy Boy says, they couldn't lock me in. I could have written a book called 101 Ways to Escape from Eastwood High. Yeah. I used to get out the Hawthorns quite easily, mate. It's like... Bill says, hello, have we met? Will I be buying if I go to Telford? Silly question, of course you will. Hugh says, just in, been out all night, blagging kiddie sweets. You'd be dressed up as a ghost walking around on your knees again, you, ain't ya?
Is the right answer.
Bless you. I could just imagine him doing that, actually. He's got quite a mischief about him.
Yeah.
James's boy says, yeah, guessing he says at you, or guys in. Bobbin
When I was a
says,
kid-
at Telford, I'll mostly be wandering around admiring other people's builds, but I do need a new Optivisor and maybe a 1/350th ship. Oh, there you go, mate. That's you done, mate.
Yeah.
EC Idaho says, went to see my eldest son in the promised land of Minnesota. 22-hour drive from Idaho, then a 22-hour drive back. We did stay a week. Real hobby stores in Minnesota, unlike Idaho. A long drive for sure. I can imagine, mate. Yeah. Sophie says, looking after my mum and dad took a lot out of me. It's surprising how much it does. It really does. PJ says, I have a sneaking suspicion that my bank account credit cards are going to take major hits this weekend at Telford. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, but Paige, it's once a year, mate, and you've got a big birthday coming up next year, mate, so treat yourself. Yep. I've not helped you there, have I?
Yeah, and don't forget, of course, his bank manager is probably more than aware of what dates Telford are and will just turn his account off.
Yeah.
So you're safe. You won't be able to spend anything anyway.
Yeah, I've not helped PJ there. Early birthday bonus, mate. Just saying.
Yeah.
See what I did.
I see exactly what you did, and he knows what you did, and you know what you did.
I throw your catchphrase straight back at you.
Yep. Just saying.
Exactly. That's him. Yes, he's 50 next year as PJ. Say what I did there, Paige.
Yeah, that might have had. You might want to speak to your son about that accounting error there that you've just done. That rounding error. He might explain it to you.
Yeah, and a big congratulations to him as well. Dead proud. Dead proud of both my boys.
You should be. They're good lads.
Then he pointed out it was 9 years between his two graduations. Yeah. Gets to put letters behind his name and all sorts now.
Yep.
And then he pointed out, he went, yeah, up until this morning, so did a certain persona non grata royal, he says. How'd that work out for him? He said, I'll stay as I am. I was like, I'd argue that. Like,
when my brother got his degree many, many years ago, I turned around to him and I said, if you think I'm ever calling you doctor, you can just kiss my backside. Yeah. So that's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's... Yeah. Of course, H was obligatory, Mum. Makes me so proud.
Oh, yeah, blubbing. It's the way forward.
It's my little pup. I'm like, oh, okay.
Little pup.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, we do get proper blubby mum and dad, I must admit, because, you know, it's your kids, isn't it? You know, I say kids, they're both, you know, like in their 30s now, but...
And we all know that it was more blubby dad than blubby mum.
Oh, yeah. I'm just chuffed to bits for them, you know what I mean? It's
rightly so.
Especially nowadays, because, you know, it's a tough old world, isn't it, out there?
You can sit there, you can say, I made that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm proud as punch of them, but...
You should be. I'm proud of my son's ability to not exist. That's exactly what I wanted, and that's what I got. I would ask nothing more of my children than to just not actually exist.
Bless him. But it was quite funny because he's so introverted, the squirming, because he had to obviously have all the photographs done and go up. And
oh, yeah. You had to be in public.
Presentation of it and all, you know, the auditorium all seeing him about. He hated every minute of that.
Oh, God, yeah.
And, of course, I did point out how much he was enjoying it. I'll get you a degree, son. Go on. Go and say hello to the teacher. Did you get him an apple? His response ended in off.
Yeah. He's like, you might be my father, but I can still punch you.
Yeah, she said, you don't help, do you? And I went, no.
How long have you known me?
What did you expect, son? It's quite funny. Ellen there on tiptoes trying to straighten his tie, you know. He's like, Mum, leave me alone. Stop fussing. Leave me alone. Stop fussing. Like, yeah, good luck with that, son. You're not going to stop her.
It's not going to happen. Did he have to wear the gown and floppy hat and stuff and everything?
Yeah, he had all of that on, yeah. I said, don't forget to put a polo in your mouth before you go up and speak to him, just in case. She said, you never know. He's like, Mum, leave me alone.
He's going to give me a certificate, not kiss me.
It was like watching Ronnie Corbett, Language Timothy, you know. It was like, oh, also, I'm stood behind her, mimicking what she's saying, and he's sniggering. Like, yeah.
In your mind, she didn't know.
Yeah, in my mind, she was totally unaware until the elbow struck me.
Yep. And because she's only little, we know where it struck you.
Yeah. Right, yeah. What do you do that for? Because you're making faces. How do you know?
I can hear you.
I have rear view vision, she says. I've got a arcing camera in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bleep when it's on.
Yeah. Of course, me muttering, at least there's something there. Yeah, didn't it?
You just do it to yourself, don't you?
I do, mate.
You do. There's no hope for you.
Certainly isn't.
I'm being totally slapdash with this shade. Spreading it everywhere.
Bill says the biggest problem for him at Telford is his war pension goes into a bank a couple of days before. Oh, dear. Gamesy says that's a digital ID conspiracy theory there, Fox. His bank manager turning off his account. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sophie's got a PhD in homemade biscuits, cakes, cookies and muffins. Good for you.
Ooh. It is the way forward.
PJ says, if you're going to Telford, I'll be working the Scale Fanatics table. Hall 1, table 1105. Come and say hello. Shameless plug of the week goes to PJ.
That is like massive plugging there, isn't it?
Well done, that man.
Yep.
Well done. Oh,
when's your book out, PJ? Where can we get it?
That is brilliant. That is
plug of the week.
Plug of the week. Plug of the week.
He's now
Shameless
going.
plug of the week. Todd.
He's now going, you two really ain't funny. But yeah, we know what you're thinking.
We're not really funny. We're not funny. We're hilarious.
He's now sitting there with his arm folded going, I shan't say another word then. Just saying.
Yeah. Although he's already got his next comment ready, copy and pasted. So.
Yeah. How many FUs do you reckon it's going to have in it?
Quite a few.
Quite a few.
I'd say a significant number, most likely. It might just all be Fs. I don't know.
He loves us too much to do that. He's now sitting there going, yeah, you think, fat boy. I know what he's thinking.
He can hear you.
Yeah, he could hear me. Yeah. Yeah, old Sam is having great fun, my little samurai, I must admit. It's, I say to people, these little bitty art figures, go and treat yourselves. They really are fun to do.
Yep. I'll have to take a crack at some at some point.
Yeah. They are fun. It's all Ron's fault.
Ron, it's all your fault. The blame lies with you.
Absolutely.
In reality, though, of course, what a lot of people don't realise is that you've been painting figures for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your relaxation is painting figures.
Well, I can remember way back when Jeff said, "What do you do to relax when you're not YouTubing and filming? Figure painting." He was like, "Really? There's no videos of it on your channel." I said, "No, you just asked me, what do I do to relax when I'm not filming and YouTubing?"
Yeah. And because we don't know if you're in law enforcement or not, it's figure painting.
Yeah. So he busted my receptacles until I started putting some content out for figure. So it's currently in the members section where I'm going to be putting it, and then it'll go general release afterwards. But yeah, so I did assure him that I would do it, and I did start, and then wheedled my way out of it. But I have since been reminded. Yeah. Wait for episode 2. Yeah. There will be more. Like these little mini art figures, I've been filming this and the Roman as I've been doing them, and I will edit them down and put them out there because, you know, I'm not at the level of Ron and people like that, you know, but I enjoy what I do and I have fun doing it.
You do what you enjoy, and that's all that matters, that you enjoy it.
Exactly. As long as you're having fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think you give Ron a good run for his money.
Yeah, I know. I don't like praising my own work.
I know.
Wouldn't be unseemly.
No, none of us do.
Very, very unseemly.
Ooh, excuse me.
So that's those done. That can settle.
My camera's in completely the wrong place for all the things I'm doing.
Do the effect on that, but I've got a Mephisto and read that first. So let's sit you there in it. Some more cordage, didn't I? Oh, he's got some on his back. That was it. I knew I'd seen some. There's some on his helmet as well. So I've got to paint his helmet.
Ooh,
let's just flick that chat on there. Jamesy Boy says, best I got was NC for motor vehicle engineering or car mechanics in plain English. Good for you, mate. Mm-hmm. Bill's Model Club is in a whole one too. So it's the Red Dragon Model Club. There you go. PJ says, I'd never use bad language on this stream car. I might be thinking it, of course. Exactly. Pound for what you're thinking, Peach. Yeah.
Penny for your thought and pound for what you're really thinking.
Yeah. Good old Peach. Good sense of humour. Mm-hmm. He has to have putting up with us 2 pillars.
Well, it's kind of required, isn't it?
Yeah.
Won't last long without one. Not with us around.
I hope you have a good Telford, mate, because, you know, they put a lot of work in to get their stuff up there.
Mm-hmm.
I go and pay him a visit, folks. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes for them all to be there for you. So, you know, just go and say hello to them. PJ's up there, Roland and the rest of the gang. And, yeah.
I suddenly realised I've not been since 2019.
Exactly.
That's like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, if Dan's up there, remember to compliment him on his very impressive beard.
Oh, yes. Beard of excellence.
Yeah. Get that all dabbed into all the crooks and nannies on that rope. Then this will have a lighter orange going over the top of it just to pick out any other highlights.
Talking about them highlights.
This is all literally just base colours at the moment, this little guy. Just so that I can see the different coloured areas, and then I can go around there and add highlights and washes. bits and pieces just to pick out little details that the light may have hit.
I've got bits and pieces in my head now. Thanks.
Yeah. There you go. So that's that done. Underneath there and do these little ruffle things.
I'm just doing a little bit of agrax on some of these silver bits just to make them look a little less shiny silver, a little bit more worn.
Agrax.
I don't want to like rust up the checker plate because that will make no sense. But I want to make it look dirty. So.
Yeah, you'd get dirty, muddy watermark stains on diamond plate, but not necessarily rust because it's aluminium, isn't it? But
aluminium. Let's have a look. Bill says, you'll be proud of me, Collie and I got in and out of club night on Thursday, empty-handed, gone a whole week with no new kits and no new benches either.
Bill, honestly, mate, I'm welling up with pride, mate.
Do we need to arrange an intervention?
Yeah, I'm so proud of you, mate. You're clearly ill.
Yeah, clearly need help.
You know, you clearly need to go and have some counselling, mate, because you're clearly off your game there, mate.
Yeah, something's not right, is it?
Hopefully they give you the medical support you obviously need there, mate.
No wonder the economy's in decline. Bill's not been spending money.
So proud of you, mate.
Yeah. Bill, you need to go and spend money on models. Think of the children. Or something. I don't
know. We got blue edging to go up in there. So
blue edging. Edging blue for the dads.
Have now.
Actually sounds a bit rude, that.
Let's bung that there. That'll remind me that I've got to do that.
Boom. You like that word, don't you?
I do.
Boom.
Paint the entire front of your drawer unit orange there, Cole, because you forgot you had your brush in your hand.
Damn, I love using
Sophie
shades.
says, painting confuses me at times. Best advice I give to anyone is obviously thin your paints. You'll notice, although I'm using a wet palette, I am constantly dipping my brush. I've got a pot of dirty water up there, but I've also got a little pot of clean water just here off shop. And even though I'm on a wet palette, you'll see me dipping, and I have little puddles of water next to the colour. And then I then just bring them together and make different blends of, you know, very, very thin glazes of it, as well as the opposite end is pigment. And it's just a matter of thinning your paints and multiple thin coats is the best advice I can give to anyone.
Yep.
When you first start doing it like that, you think, oh, that looks a bit streaky. That's only its first little dab. And it's just a matter of building it up layer by layer.
Never take it from the pot if you can avoid it.
No, I'll go from the pot to the wet palette.
Yep. I mean, I'm doing shades straight from the pot, but that's because it's a shade. It's meant to be like that.
Yeah.
Normal paints.
Yeah, you don't want to put shades and glazes on a wet palette if you can help it.
That is the most important piece of advice you can give, though, isn't it? Thin your paints.
Yeah. Multiple thin layers of paint. And don't rush it, Sophie. This is the thing, you know, and you've got a lot better at this because when you first started painting, you'd want it all done in one session. Whereas now, you know, it's multiple thin coats. Let the paint dry between coats and then just apply the paint. Let the brush do the work for you.
Yep.
You know, and again, you know, if it's a high-end paint job, you know, invest in some high-end paint brushes. The rest of the time, like this, I mean, this is an old army painter set that I've had for donkey's years. And then obviously regularly cleaning your brush off as you're painting, just to get any excess off.
Yep.
Again, turn the brush as you're dragging it across your wet palette there. Don't spin it, because you'll damage the bristles. But as you're doing it, just drag it, and you'll get your point back on your brush, just like that.
Yep.
And then as you're putting the paint on, try not to soak the brush too much. You don't want it in the ferrule. About that much. About a third of the bristle. And again, let the brush do the work for you. That's what it's there for. Give it a good stroke and you'll be well away.
Steady.
That sounded wrong, but you know what I mean. You know, just a long brush stroke, like so. As you get to a corner, I tend to twist the brush, but then I use the pinstripe. So it's an old trick pinstripers use as they get to a curve. They twist the brush as they turn the corner, you know, and I've still got that habit, and it works a treat for me. But
yeah, don't be afraid of it. Is an important thing. Just, you know, have fun. If you're learning, it doesn't matter if you paint something and it comes out, you think, oh, it looks terrible, because you're learning. You know, you're not under any obligation to make something look like X, Y, or Z. It's just fun. Your model, it's your paint job. Yeah. And honestly, that's the best advice. Take your time. If it's a highly detailed piece, I do what the snipers would do in the military. I breathe, and then on an out breath, I then do my delicate line. Then breathe again, you know, and it just helps. I know Sophie asked about brushes a while ago, a couple of streams ago. Yes. And I'd say they're not the best brushes in the world, but when you're learning, the Citadel brushes, they take a lot of the thinking away because they're labelled base brush. Yes. Layer brush, shade brush. And it's kind of obvious that they're thin for tiny details or fat details. And, you know, the stuff in the store will explain it to you. It's a good way to start. Yeah. Because you can say, well, this is for when I'm doing layering. This is a shade brush, so I can do this with shades. And I tend to stick to that now. But it's just a quick way of learning the different sort of brushes that do different things. Because if you go and buy a set that are all called like Massive and Psycho and Blebian, you don't know what each brush is for. Like I'm using. Yeah. Army Painter, Regiment, Psycho, Insane Detail. That's what he's saying, basically. So you're basically saying I'm using the wrong brushes. I know what what I'm saying is, as a beginner, they might not know what like regiment means. What's a regiment brush? What do I paint with that? But whether, you know, these, if you're starting out, just to get over the fear of brushes. I will say the one thing is they're not the Rolls Royce of brushes. I don't think they are. They're not. No. Longevity isn't one of their fortes, is it? Let's be honest. So, no, they are good brushes, but they're a good workhorse, put it that way. Yeah. But if you want a Rolls Royce, you can get Artist Opus, or you can get what I've got there, Broken Toed brushes. Yeah. They're a nice brand. They're a more expensive brush. Yes. As a set, you know, the set of them will cost you about 55 quid. Sounds a lot of money, but they are. They are a Rolls Royce brush, but you use them when you're doing that final high-end detail on stuff. Oh, God. But my run-of-the-mill, what I'm using at the moment, is my first set of Army Painters. And then I've got other ones. I've got the Wargamer Kalinsky stuff there, you know, the Masterclass series. And nice. So, yeah, but I always have, you know, your Rolls Royce brushes. And again, keep them in a separate pot away from your regular stuff. That way you don't pick them up by mistake and use them to put a metallic on or a shade or a glaze, because if once paint gets into the ferrule, they're done. Exactly. And you'll find different brushes work differently for you. Like I'm using my Citadel ones now. I'm only painting rough details and blocking them in, so I'm using my scruffy old ones for the scruffy stuff. I'm using a couple of nice, good quality Citadel brushes for some of the finer details. But when I start painting the figures, and that's really fine detail, that's when I'll be using my Broken Toed brushes. I would use Army painted brushes, but I can't actually find them. So it'll be my Broken Toads. I mean, the reason I'm using these at the moment is they're triangular. Yeah. Which for me, with my grip at the moment, is perfect, because I can pinch them between my fingers and yeah, no, I haven't got the brush flying out my end, so that's why I'm using the Army Painters. I got told off for it the other week. Oh, you're using your Army Painters on this, that, and that. You know, they're too good for that. And I went, yeah, this is my old set. My other new set is still in the thing, but at the moment, they're a lot easier for me to grip at the moment. Yep. That's what people seem to forget is, you don't throw old brushes away. So when we're using, I've got a broken toed brush somewhere that's a scruffy brush because it just got used and abused, and now it's a dry brush, but it's like a 30 quid brush, but it's just at the end of life, so it's a scruffy brush now.
Brushes are a consumable, that's the thing, but you can prolong their life. Another thing we've said to you before, Sophie, I do believe, is, invest in some brush cleaner.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with brush cleaner.
You cannot go wrong with a decent brush cleaner. You've got various brush soaps out there, but caring for your brushes is as important as anything else. It really is, probably because
in terms of brushes, it's the most important thing you can do is to look after them.
I mean, we'll dip our brushes as we're going throughout the live stream, and we'll give them a quick clean as we're wrapping the show up. But once we come off air, we know we've probably got another hour that we're going to sit chatting, and we both deep clean all our brushes that we've been using.
Yep.
Because we know that they're going to be sat in the pot for a week until the next thing, and we need to make sure that there's no scuzz on them,
Yep. And another thing I'd say as well is, and I'm not shilling for Citadel here at all, but
there you are.
No, I wish I was. I'd be getting paid for it. In the same way that you can start out by using their brushes because they're labelled as kind of what they are. It ties in with their paints, and again, their paints are kind of labelled as what they're meant for. So a base paint is the paint you put down on your primer to lay a base colour down. You've got layer paints that go on top of those, and they're more transparent, so you can use them to build up colours. You've got edge paints for edge highlighting, and again, it kind of explains it all. So just starting out, start out with whatever paints you want. But again, if you want an easy start, get yourself some Citadel paints and watch a couple of videos as to what those paints are for. That'll get you in the mindset, and eventually you can then level up to other paint brands once you kind of get the feel for it. You don't have to. It's easily labelled. That's the one advantage you have with those, that they are their painting system of base layer and edge highlight is a good starting point. It's not the be-all and end-all because it doesn't include things like glazing and wet blending.
Take a breath, Fox. You're going purple.
It's just a good starting point to learn the basics.
Bless him. Sophie's like, wish I hadn't asked. Yeah, Sophie's like, wish I hadn't asked now.
Hey, you ask a question, we answer.
Normally be in 5 words.
Yeah, it's the other way around tonight.
Absolutely.
Oh, you were having fun. I was letting you get on with it.
I know. Absolutely.
You appear to have tapped into Fox's call centre mode. I'm quite impressed.
Yeah. So I'll go and seek advice.
I think you can get pills for it now.
Yeah. Oh, can't have that. I'll be in call centre mode. Right, we still need more of that because we got cordage on his helmet.
Addy bitty bitty.
Sophie says, yeah, painting does confuse me at times. Yeah, she is taking her time, absolutely.
Yeah.
AJ goes, yeah, I'll basil brush, I'll be quiet. Always prime your figures before painting, Sophie. Always.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Always prime them. Get yourself some cheap rattle can primer or whatever you're using. If you can't use rattle cans, just ordinary brushable primer will do, but always prime it. No matter what it is you're painting.
Yep. If ever you sit there and think, should I prime? The answer's always yes. With no exceptions.
Yeah, you'll be glad you did.
Yeah. Even if it was one of those McFarlane's pre-primed paint, big action figures that are unpainted, still prime it. Because their priming's a bit bish.
I mean, I always Zenithal prime, like I did with this guy, where it had a black primer. Mm-hmm. And I go over with various greys, dry brush it just to bring out any detail and that, just for my own eyes, so that I can pick out all the different details. It works for me.
Yeah, it's a great idea because it just means you can see where all the stuff is.
I can see where all the little grooves are, but also you could use that to your advantage if you thin your paints right down. You can almost make it semi-transparent where those underlying shades start showing through, so it'll give you light and dark hues of the colour you're putting on without you actually having to do it yourself.
The basis of slap chop, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. I think
yours looks better than slap chop.
Yeah.
I think yours looks better than slap chop because it's like yours is like slap chop, but you're actually taking care of it and doing a good job. Rather
yeah, because I will go back with a liner brush and pick out very, very high highlights.
Yeah.
To take it to that next stage. It just makes it work.
Yeah. Slap chop's a bit more carefree and slapdash, isn't it? But you're doing it properly.
Yeah. But it does save you a lot of time. I've been on that Tiger wagon that I've been doing at it, and I've only put a couple of shades of the base colour down, but it looks like it's 4 or 5 different shades of it. It's only 2 layers is all I've done, but they were so thin and transparent. But it's worked to my benefit, and it's saved me hours.
And that's another important thing as well, which leads on to that, which is when you are painting something, if you can avoid it, don't just do like a flat colour. I mean, you can, if that's the particular style you're looking for, but if you're trying to paint something with a bit of interest to it, try and make it, if something's like blue, don't just do it one shade of blue. Do some dark bits, some light bits, and have some shading on there. And like Festa does with his primers, and then he does the glazes over the top. Try and get it not just one flat uniform colour, because it becomes so much more interesting.
Well, I mean, this is the Ugly Betty stage of a build we often refer to, because it's literally block base colour at the moment.
Yeah.
But I can go back then and start picking out highlights, lowlights and things like that. All this is at the moment is to get them thick base colours in. Then you can go in and add all your different tones and things like that as you need to. I mean, under my eye, that green doesn't look like one green at the moment because it's over a zenithal, so I've still got high and low lights, but I still want to go in and add additional highlights to it just on the material folds because light would have hit that and reflected back. So
I can now hear the hangman from Blazing Saddles going, "Everyone's equal in my eye." Yeah, try and make things, just visually interesting, like Festa put some variation in. Remember, when you're making a model, you're making a small version of something.
Yeah.
And even if that thing in real life is just one flat colour, when you shrink it down, it doesn't quite work if you paint it like that. So you want to kind of, in a little way, especially with miniatures like Space Marines and stuff, you're exaggerating it because they're designed to be seen from a few feet away. You don't have to paint them that way. You can just paint them however you want, but just try to make sure there's some variation in there. They're not just one flat colour, because it does really make it all pop. There's various ways of doing it. You'll figure it out.
You often hear me say I put stuff on a shelf where it's going to live on display. So I can see how the light is hitting it at various points of the day, and then I wait for the model to talk to me. And all I'm doing is I'm looking at the way the light is hitting some of the surfaces and bouncing back. And then I'll get my camera phone out and I'll take a picture. And then when it comes to painting, I replicate how daylight has hit that figure with paint. So you get your light and your dark shades and things like that. So that when it goes on display again, no matter what time of day it is, whether it's evening, night time, under fluorescent light, you've still got that light-dark transition shade as if it was blazing sunshine in it.
Yep.
It works a treat for me.
I've done that with minis when I'm painting a face sometime, and I'm not quite sure where to put a subtle highlight. Is it on this bit of the brow? Is it on this bit of the cheek? So what I'll do is I've got a little posable desk lamp. So I'll turn all the lights off and I'll have the posable desk lamp on, and it'll be a completely stark shadow because it's one spot lamp source, but it just says, all right, here's all the highlight spots. Right, okay, now I can roughly know, like you with your camera, same kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly what I do.
Yeah. Just figuring out where it's going to be.
I've got figures on a shelf at the back there that I printed ages ago, and they've all been base coated, but I'm looking at the way the light hits them, and they're talking to me now, and it's like, yeah, I can go and finish that paint job now.
Yeah. If you're painting minis at the minute, which you are, you're doing Space Marines, I cannot recommend enough going to the Warhammer TV channel on YouTube. Forget all the modern stuff; that's all garbage. It's all like painting with the contrast paints to make it look like you're 5 years old. But go back to like the old videos and watch the ones that Duncan does. Duncan's painting tutorials, like the early stuff, like how to paint a Imperial Guard or an Imperial Knight, or how to paint. He teaches you a really great, straightforward way to paint that just covers the real basics, but it's a good foundation to get you started, and then you can go off and start doing all the other experimental stuff. So if you're ever not sure, just check some of them out. They're really great, and they're quite straightforward. It's basically base, layer, and shade, or base, shade, and layer technique with an edge highlight, and it's really done in a really nice way. Plus, Duncan's lovely. You can't not like Duncan. Yeah, not the modern stuff, because it's not as good. Of course, watch our stuff as well.
We want to teach her the right way of doing it.
Mm. Oh, yeah. Let's see what's happening. Sophie says, one thing I've learned is taking my time. Do I need to primer? I've done that one. Can I use Tamiya Surface Primer on Warhammer figures? You can do. It doesn't really matter what the primer is, as long as it's a good primer. Tamiya Surface Primer is a lacquer primer, so it's quite durable, quite hard wearing. So that's quite a good primer.
A good solid
nice
base.
Yeah, it's a nice solid base primer. Automotive primers can be quite hard wearing as well.
Yeah. So
you go and get a rattle can of primer from Halfords or something. They can be a bit. They're not as fine as, say, model making primers, though, so go easy with them because it's easy to spray too much and get them.
Yeah, they can. Especially if it's a filler primer, it can take out some of the detail.
Yeah, so you can use them, but you've got to be careful. I'd probably say try and do modelling primers over automotive, but they're a good option. You can't knock them. That's it, really. But yes, those primers are fine. They're I nearly said latex. They're lacquer primers. So you can put basically anything on top of them. It's not a problem. Once they're cured, just let them cure. Actually, if I'm doing them, I've not done one for a long time, but if I'm doing a model that requires masking, so if I'm doing like a Star Wars vehicle or something, and let's say it's like a white vehicle with a red stripe, I'm not going to use acrylics on that. I'm going to use Tamiya paints and airbrush them, because if I use a Tamiya paints, spray the base colour and then put any chipping fluid on them, do a stripe or whatever, they're quite durable because they're lacquers. So you peel that masking tape off, that paint ain't moving. Some acrylic paints, if you don't get it just right, then when you peel the masking tape off, it can pull the paint up. So I'm always a bit wary of acrylics, so I'll happily use Tamiya paints for things like that.
An old mantra, anything over lacquer, nothing over acrylic.
Yep.
Because people used to always go, oh, lacquer paints and acrylics, don't want to mix them. Well, the minute you're using lacquers, just use lacquers. Anything will go over a lacquer.
Yeah.
Only acrylic goes over acrylic.
Yeah. Yeah, never put lacquer on top of anything else.
Exactly. So anything over lacquer, nothing over acrylic. That'll keep you out of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, you'll get crazy paving, painting, and you're out with a debt hole then.
Yeah, alligator skin. Just make sure everything cures and you're good. It can be. I mean, it can be a confusing and scary world, painting, if you've never done it before. If it's new, and that's what Festa and myself have spent many years trying to do is demystify something that to the outsider looks like dark magic. And the whole point of our channels is to say, you know what, it's not actually that complicated and it's not that scary. Anyone can learn to do it. It's just a case of learning what everything does and how to use them.
This is the trouble, you know, we've all seen channels and people that try to overcomplicate the process to make themselves look more suave, windswept and interested, and all they're doing is alienating the person trying to learn.
Yep.
I try to keep it simple, KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a detrimental way to the people I'm teaching. It's just I try to make it as, you know, as real as possible. You know, it's only as difficult as you make it for yourself.
Exactly.
You know, we all paint differently because we all have different forefoils. You know, I have a constant tremor. So I have to adapt for that reason. Now, my way of painting works for me. I have wrist supports and things like that I put on when I'm doing certain detail work because I have to, because it stiffens my arm up a bit. Now, not everyone's going to need that, but there are people out there with tremors that often say to me, how do you cope with that, with what you're doing? And I say, well, because I use this, you know, and that's what works for me, you know. But
I'm very lazy and I'm easily bored. So I've developed methods that work for me that are just quick and simple and straightforward, which is why I'm not great at like glazing and stuff, because it's a long drawn out process. Now we'll get around to figuring it out. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, you love that stuff. But for me, it's more about washes, weathering, fast, not necessarily fast stuff, but stuff that I can do and enjoy, and it's not going to get me bored halfway through. Because I'm very lazy and I'm very easily bored, and I don't like to get bored half. So that's why I love weathering stuff. I won't do shiny cars because I'd be like, oh, this is bored after 5 minutes.
It's like my Roman, you know, it's a 1/10 scale mini art figure. There's over 100 hours in that so far.
Yep.
Sophie says she's a visual learner. Yeah, same by me. Same with me. I learn by doing.
Yep.
You know, you can talk to me for hours about how to paint, but show me, I'll understand.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why the best thing you can do, Sophie, is just watch all the videos you can get your hands on. Obviously, Festa and myself. My recommendations would be, like I said, the Warhammer TV channel, but go from the old videos. Just go to oldest. I know, Festa, you would, when it comes to like complicated weathering and stuff and detail weathering, Festa and I would both recommend Night Shift.
Yeah, Martin Kovac.
Martin Kovac, he's a fantastic bloke and he's an amazing painter. I don't think who else. The Duncan Rhodes Painting Academy, which is on YouTube. That's Duncan again from Warhammer, but he's not there now. He's got a load of his stuff. Watch his stuff as well. It's all really Duncan, good stuff.
Peachy, people like that.
Yeah, Duncan and Peachy are both aimed at like beginners, and they're really good. But
I think you'll do well, Sophie. I really do, because you've got that inquisitive mind about you, and you're not afraid or embarrassed to ask questions. You know, and when you're able to do that and not feel that you've been a problem, you know, as I've said to you many a time, I'd rather you ask the same question 20 times. And then when you go off and have a go at doing it, you know what you're doing then. So I don't mind. You know, there's never a silly question. The only silly question is the one that isn't asked. Yep.
And possibly the most important thing to remember of all of this is that you're doing this for yourself. You're not doing it for somebody on the internet. You're not doing it for somebody else elsewhere. You're doing it for yourself to have fun. It doesn't matter what the things look like. It doesn't matter how good or bad you think they are. Accept that you're learning and that you'll get better over time. And if you do something now and you think, oh, I don't think I've done very well, don't worry, because keep it on your shelf and move on to the next thing. Because in a year's time, you'll look back at it and you think, wow, I've come so far since then.
Yeah, we have kits that we could keep to compare.
Yeah.
You know, and I can look at my shelf, and on the left-hand side is my earliest stuff. And then as you go along the stuff, it migrates into my newer stuff. It lets me just look at it and go, yeah, I have improved.
Yeah.
Now, I could all the earlier stuff, but I don't want to, because I use that as an example. If my own self-confidence is low for whatever reason, and that could be something in real life as depressing me or whatever, because I am a depressive, I use that as a little, but you're not that bad, because look at where you were and where you are now, so you can't be that bad, and you just buoy yourself up a little bit. So use that to your advantage.
Yep. And, you know, the first step is always accepting you're starting out on your journey, you're not going to be the world's best model painter right out the gate. It's very rare that anybody ever starts in the hobby with all the skills needed. It does happen, but it's so incredibly rare. I don't know anybody. So don't hang up yourself on that. Just have fun. Learn as much as you can. Be a sponge, a learning sponge. Take everything in. Don't expect to be able to do everything right away, because some things you can do because they're not as hard as you think, and some things you have to learn the technique. But there's no question of talent. It's not about talent, and it's not about secret dark magic sauce. Anyone can do this. Anyone in the world can do this. Like I said before, it's just knowing what to use and how to use it, and that's it. It's simple as that. It's like anyone can draw if they're taught how to draw, or if they learn how to draw. So don't think you can't do it, and don't get stressed if you don't think you're good enough, because you'll get there.
And it's that age-old thing at the end of the day. We all had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've all been through it. We've all had to learn this. You know, you're not born a painter. You're not born a modeler. You're not born an expert. We learn by doing, persevering and pushing ourselves, and that's what it's all about.
Yep, that's how it works. Yeah, we all make mistakes. I've just realised that I've painted the heavy stubbers a completely wrong colour. Hey, we all make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
But it's how you deal with the mistakes. That's the fun bit. Heavy stubbers.
We all started out painting figures into me a flat flesh.
Yep, I started out painting figures into me a flat flesh. When I was on my shelf in the front room is a Tamiya 135th SAS Jeep. We've all made it. We've all seen it. It's the old kit from the 70s. And I painted it in 1984, I think, 5. And in those days, I can tell you the colours. Khaki for the uniform.
I know where this is going.
Lee Enfield rifle, red, brown, gunmetal. Strap on the rifle, semi-gloss black. These are all the Tamiya colours. Hair, red, brown. Skin, flat flesh. The Jeep itself was khaki, I think. Or was it desert tan? Might have been desert tan.
Yeah,
the Browning, yeah, the Browning machine gun, gunmetal with a dry brush of silver. It was dead simple in them days because we were learning, but we were having fun. I remember the first model I ever painted, I've said this before, was the one my dad got me, and he bought all the paints, and that was the T62, Tamiya T62 tank.
Yeah.
And I remember taking the tank commander that comes with it in a matchbox to school and sitting on the front seat of the bus upstairs, saying to my mate, look what I've done. And I showed him this little figure. And to me, it was the most realistic figure in the world.
Yeah.
And my mates were like, wow, that's amazing. If I still had it, I'd look at it now and be like, dear God, did I paint that with a dead cat?
Yeah.
But I was like 13 and it was the best thing I'd ever done. And I was so proud of what I'd done.
Yeah, but isn't that the fun of it?
That's the fun of it. So no matter what age you are, just be that 13-year-old that's just learning and thinks it's just great fun. And eventually you'll get there. You'll stop thinking about it and you'll just do it. That's the trick. What is it you say to me all the time, Festa? Stop overthinking things.
Yeah. I always say it to him because he does overcomplicate a very simple task. It's like, you know, when I joke to him, yeah, I could have said that in 5 words instead of 500, but you like to over-explain, and I'm like, I find sometimes that can intoxicate people because you're bombarding them with too much info to absorb. So it's like, yeah, keep it simple, you know. But then that's just me from my spray painting days when I was training apprentices. So, you know, it's, you know, you can take 5 minutes to explain how an airbrush works or 60 seconds and show them the rest by physically letting them do it, you know.
Exactly.
It's just our 2 opposing ways, you know. Neither of us are right, neither of us are wrong.
No.
It's just we have 2 different ways of explaining things. And
And
hopefully, out of that, you get then what you need to hear.
Yeah, that's the trick with the whole hobby. There is no right or wrong. Painting a model is no different to painting a painting on a canvas. It's 100% a question of your own particular style and taste.
Yeah.
You know, I can look at a Rembrandt and I can look at a Mondrian. They're completely, vastly different.
Yeah.
but they're both brilliant paintings because they mean different things and they're a different style.
Exactly.
So if you don't want to paint, whatever it is you're painting in a particularly realistic style, don't. Paint it in whatever your style is.
Exactly.
Because it's your interpretation.
And the whole idea of it as well is don't be afraid to bring your own personality into what you're painting. I often get this when I've done cars or bikes or whatever, and people go, oh, it should be the original patent colour from when it was made, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, look, it's your model, your money, you bought it. If you want to paint it pink with polka dots, that's your choice.
Yep.
As long as you're having fun, and that's the key. Use a bit of your own personality. From what I know of you, Sophie, you seem a very creative individual, a very expressive personality. So the best advice I could give you would be put as much of that expressive personality into your paint jobs as possible. Don't be shy in putting your own sense of humour or quirky personality tastes or whatever you've got that make you you. Put that in your paint jobs. Make that figure or whatever it is you're painting unique, almost like a miniature version of you. And I think you'll sit there and you'll get so much more enjoyment because you're expressing yourself. You're not getting judged. You're not having anyone judge you for expressing who you are. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
And, that'll help you feel a lot more confident about your own place and expressing yourself. That's how I think you might be able to help yourself improve and feel comfortable. Because you're expressing yourself through your artistic creations as well. And that might help you feel more complete. I don't know, but...
Yep. I mean, there's lots of people that start out by copying others, which is fine, but then they never move away from that. And it's like, well, there's no you in it. Start out by copying others, but then start injecting your own little stuff into it.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I know Sophie more well than anyone else, but from what I've interpreted from you in our interactions in chat, you come across as a very expressive person, but a little uncertain of expressing yourself at times. So if you can do that and feel more comfortable doing that through the work you're creating in the miniature world, then I think that might help you grow, feel a lot more confident in yourself and your place in society. So give it a thought. Let me know.
Make it your outlet to the world.
Absolutely.
Communicate with the world.
And that's all I do. I've got an inner childlike curiosity. And it's always been picked up on with people that know me, where I don't have any inhibitions when it comes to chopping up a model kit and git bashing it, because I like to put the festa into it, festerize as they call it. So Fox has often said he wished he had my childlike creativity, a lack of fear when it comes to expressing that, whereas to me that's normal.
It's funny because, like Festa expressing himself in a model is putting 26 turrets on a tank.
Yeah.
And just going absolutely bananas with it. Whereas to me, I can't do that. But what I do is silly visual gags like a Hello Kitty Lehman Russ tank.
Yeah.
It's like, so we just express ourselves in different ways, really.
I mean, I've done it before when I've done group builds. You end up with 26 identical cars, bikes, tanks or whatever. And I can't deal with that. I like to do something different or feel that it's slightly different, not to try and be better than anyone else. It's not about that for me. It's just, it's like when I did my London bus, I Googled everywhere and I saw everyone had done the same. And I'm like, well, I'm going to put my best or favourite movies as decals, my favourite bands, and make it my own and light it and put people in it and just have quirky little sound effects of what I remember as a kid going on buses around London.
Yep.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have built it because I would have felt bored because it was the same, Crawford's cream cracker decals as everyone else's, and I just couldn't bear doing that.
I mean, if you don't put some of yourself into a build, then you're really just painting by numbers.
Exactly.
That's it's fun and it's absorbing, but there's no creativity.
Yeah.
Now it might be, depends on the model. You might think, well, if I'm building like a World War II tiger tank, I can't really express myself. And it's like, you can, because yes, it has to be a certain colour if you want it to be accurate. And yes, you have to do certain things with it, but you can give it, you can do accessories, you can give it netting or camouflage, you can make a little diorama, you can tell a story with the figures, you could have it on a thing next to some farm animal, you can do a lot of stuff. It's not always about changing the thing itself, but it's how you just put yourself into it.
I like to sneak an egg in them type of builds, and it's something that's in the build that shouldn't be there. World War diorama, I've got a guy sat in one of the tunnels under the trench, and he's got an iPhone. In the London bus, I've got John Lennon talking to a guy reading the newspaper, Freddie Starr at my hamster. Several figures from the Second World War stood there in the middle of the bus. I've got Churchill as a figure, you know, that sort of thing. Now, none of them things should be on a bus in 1980s London, but they are, because it's odd. You know, I did a miniature Millennium Falcon, and it had a little K9 Doctor Who figure in it, you know, and it's through one of the windows you could see that it was in there, and people go, is that what I think it is? But it's a silly little quirk, you know, that I had just to appease myself. But yeah, I mean, I was rivet counted to bejesus on the London bus, you know, and I went, well, I made a point in the first episode of saying it's my favourite bands, my favourite films, that's what I'm doing. But yeah.
Yep. I mean, I, for various reasons that we shall not discuss, came into possession of a significant number of Hello Kitty decals. Less said about that, the better. So what I try and do is I try and somewhere in each build I do incorporate, I either sign it inside somewhere. I can't remember where I have inside this somewhere I've signed it, but in every build I do, there will always be somewhere a Hello Kitty decal, including if I ever get a chance to take it to the E-Models store where you guys can see it, the Millennium Falcon I built for E-Models, there is a Hello Kitty decal on that. Yeah. And it's not hidden. It's right there. You can see it if you look for it. But I'll always try and do that because it's just silly nonsense, because too many people take this hobby far too seriously. And I'm too old, too
long in the tooth to give a...
Long in the tooth, and too fed up with humanity in general to start worrying about stuff. I just want to be silly and have fun. I'm 54 and I'm also 7. Yeah. And I want to be 7 rather than 50.
I normally have a Festa Says quote in there.
Yeah.
Alt handles. It could be anything. You know, pigeons because they coo, anything, you know.
You write it on the inside of the model. Festa Says, well, you've broken that then, haven't you?
Yeah. You know, silly little things, you know.
I wrote it on the inside of one of my commission U-boats. I put a thing on the inside of it saying, if you're reading this, you've just destroyed 750 quid.
Absolutely.
Thankfully,
Edward Leonard's in, by the way. Squishy alert. I was just waiting for an opportune moment there to get in on that one.
There's never an opportune moment.
Whilst I'm in the chat, I'll just do a bit of reading of it. He says, hi, Festa Foxx and all chat people. Happy Halloween. Hope you're doing well.
Happy Halloween.
Everyone said hello to Edward. Edward says, you could be like me and paint half blind with cataracts and have no depth perception, which makes things interesting. I'll work around it for now until I get them fixed. Days. Connor is in as well, saying hello. Hello, hey, Connor. Hope you're doing all right. I'd say hello to Edward and Leonard.
People don't know this, but I also have no depth perception. Because I've got a squint. And my right eye, my brain doesn't really do anything with what the right eye sends it. So I'm basically monocular.
Yeah, my left lens on my glasses is what they class as a prism lens. It keeps my left eye from going up in the corner.
Yep. I think my right lens, they've just said, we just made it match the other one, so it looks about right, but it's not functional. But, it is amazing, though. It's like, because I have no idea what the world actually looks like in 3D, but I don't have a problem with it, because I'm used to looking in, like, 2D, so... I read an article once about a lady who had surgery on a amblyopic eye. And she went from living all her life in 2 dimensions. She was stood at the kitchen sink about a week later and suddenly 3D vision kicked in.
Yeah.
And she said she just stood there for 20 minutes, like in tears, because she'd never seen the world in 3 dimensions before. And I'm like, I've got no idea what that looks like.
Yeah, but if you don't know no different, you're not going to miss it. That's the thing.
Exactly. If I want to paint my Space Marines purple, what base paint do I use?
Looky look.
There's many.
Depends how you go dark to light. You can use Nagaroth Night, the base layer.
Yep.
A dark purple and go from dark to light.
Mm-hmm.
Any purple that's got base on it.
Yeah.
You can use an Egon purple, which is slightly lighter.
Yep.
It's a base colour, and then you can work up from that to a lighter colour.
Yep.
That's pretty much the two base purples I've got, because I
haven't got any at all.
I do a lot of the Harlequin stuff, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of a personal choice as to the colour, but the classic Games Workshop way, which is a good starting point.
You know, there's what I mean by the Harlequin stuff. That's the Harlequin.
Oh, look at that.
Harlequin troop vehicle, you know. So
cool.
Very dusty at the moment, but
that's so cool.
You know,
I sent that to the best home, didn't I?
I even did the checkers on the little dudes as well.
This blows my mind.
The little diamonds, as you can see, just on their cloaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such complete utter nonsense. I love it.
Yeah, I will finish that. I must, because that's got dark to light, and that's got glazes on it and kinds of weirdness, and that's still only about a third of the way through the paint job on that vehicle. There's so much more I need to do on it, and paint all the glyphs and all of that.
Glyphs. Yeah, the classic Games Workshop way to do it, again, which is only a starting point, would be base, shade, and layer. So you choose the purple that you like. Choose the purple that you want it to be at the end. So you look at your layer paints and say, well, I like this purple. That's quite a nice tone. You start off with something darker. So you prime it first. Then you go in with your dark purple colour, base colour. Then you put a shade on it, which you can, with purple, you can use a black shade or a blue shade, or there is a purple shade. I can't remember what it's called. Caribou Crimson, I think, is quite nice. And then you go back in with the lighter layer colours to build the colour back up, but you leave the shade, the darkness in the shade. Which you watch a few of the Duncan videos, you'll get that quite quickly. And it's a case of going from dark to light and working up through the colours. It's hard to explain, really. It's a simple process, but it's hard to actually explain without just doing it.
Again, you know, we're naming colours, but go into your local GW and just stand there, look at the colours and see what purples appeal to you. Yep. Because, you know, I use the darker end of the purple spectrum because I do the Harlequin stuff. But, you know, if you're looking at lighter purples, there might be lighter beginning base layers that will appeal to you a lot more. So go in and have a look at the paint rack and look for base layer and see what ones of them colours on the colour wheel appeal to you the most, Sophie. Yeah,
and don't be afraid to ask the person in the shop as well, because they will more than happily explain the painting system to you. And just remember, the base colour is not the final colour. The base colour is just the foundation that the final colour tends to be your layer colour. So
that's what I was saying about this. This is all base layers at the moment. I would then go in and pick out additional colours to go over the top of it, light and dark hues.
Exactly.
That's why I'm struggling with the Tiger at the moment, because it's all base layers and it's at that sort of theatrical, overtly Alice Cooper style makeup stage, isn't it? Lilo Lil stage, as I call it.
Yeah, it kind of you look at it and think, I've just painted that. It looks like I've painted it with half a potato. What is going on? When I was painting that Sister of Silence, where I was painting the Adeptus Sororitas for Nim when we did our Nim tribute build, and I was painting this, and it was
full screen, mate. If you're doing show and tell, you know you want it.
No. Well, I was painting this, and it was just the base colour, so the dark grey armour, the red cowl, and the bone coloured thing. There was no shading or highlights. I almost gave up because it looked like absolute balls. It was horrible. There was splodgy paint everywhere. I'd messed up the gold stuff. It was terrible. But I sat there and I thought, trust the process. Trust the process. And just by putting a shade over it, one wash of Agrax Earthshade, cleaned up all the wobbly bits and started to give it depth. And I'm like, now I can move in with the highlights. So, yeah. There's always the ugly phase.
Yeah, we all have the ugly phase, you know. It is difficult to get over that first. You know, you can paint a figure and it looks like a court jester, and you're like, through it, push through it, because you know at the end of the tunnel what your vision is. And that's the hardest thing. You know, when I used to do the bikes, people used to say, you make it look so easy because you could already see it in 3-dimensional. But we can't see what you can see. And I used to have to learn how to explain that to the rest of me crew, what I was doing and how I was doing it. And I used to forget sometimes that they're not actually seeing in their minds what I'm seeing because I haven't written it down or drawn it anywhere. And that's when I got into the Photoshop InDesign stuff, so that I was documenting it for them, what I was also explaining, because I had totally overlooked that, to be quite honest with you, because I was so used to working alone.
Yeah, when you're just working by yourself and you're just cracking on with stuff, you know how it all works.
Yeah.
As soon as you have to explain it to someone, it just all falls apart.
Yeah, once I expanded and had employees and that, I had to totally reapproach my entire process, which was good for me because it educated me and got me into being able to explain easier my thought processes.
Yep.
Because up until then, it was, well, I just do it. That's how I do it.
I don't know if this will come out on camera, but when we were saying earlier about don't just, do a flat colour and leave it, give it some depth. I don't know if this will come out on camera, but these pistons here, an hour ago, that was just silver. That was just one layer of silver paint. All I've done is done a little bit of a brown and a black wash on it, and it now looks like a greasy, oily piston. But it was just flat silver.
You're a greasy, oily piston.
Well, thank you very much. These checker plates an hour ago were just silver with no weathering. A couple of washes, and they're starting to look a bit dirty. And this chain on the crane, again, it was just flat silver. I've put a black wash on it, so it's got into all the recesses and given it some depth. And then later, I can go back in and just with the bright silver paint and just highlight all the edges and the surfaces so that they sparkle again, but you've still got the darkness in the recesses. And that is a million miles from it's just been painted silver and that's it. It's all about giving depth. So shades are your friend. Shades are the best. Washes and shades. It's quite bizarre, and I know you'll agree that you can get to the ugly phase with something like, especially a figure.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be like, I hate this with every fibre of my being. And then you'll put a wash on it.
Yeah, it just makes it pop.
It'll just make it, and it will just transform it from being painted by a child with a dead cat to like, this looks like a piece of art now and I can start to work on it. There's a reason that washes and shades are called liquid talent. Because they just get you past that ugly phase. So, yeah, love shades. A lot of the stuff I did on the Stomper was mostly shades.
Exactly.
It's just like shade. There you go, it's rusty now, look. That's all I'm doing, I'm just slapping it on. Slap it on. Like, I can show you that. I actually got one. This is just, I've not touched this yet.
So you've started him off now. There's no stopping him. I just thought I'd clarify this.
I've just realised that's just pure silver there, the blades. I'll come back in a minute when I've done some shades on it and you'll see the difference. It's
so go full screen, mate.
No, it's fine. They can see. Took me a little bit to do the process anyway. So
careful what you wish for, folks.
Yep. See, you ask a question, it gives us a good hour of talking.
You gave him an opportunity there. See, that's it. There's no shutting him up now. He's off. That's it. You're done now.
Hey.
My work is complete. I don't have to say another word now for the next 28 minutes. It's brilliant.
I hasten to add that my percentage of talking in this stream has been significantly less than yours, to be fair.
Yeah, right. I'm sure.
Yeah, you've been on a roll tonight.
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah.
Pardon? What was that, sorry?
Bless him.
Did I have to activate an H mode there, didn't I? Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, something like that.
hope I'm doing it all off camera, you spoon.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you was in full-blown call centre mode there, mate. It was quite funny.
Hey, pays the bills. It doesn't, actually. I wish it did. It doesn't. That's the sad fact.
Yeah, I was going to say, it pays the bills. God, nothing pays the bills these days.
Yeah. Well, I tried hanging around the street corners, but not like you can do with £1.50, so. Doesn't even buy you a penny shoe anymore.
No. Right. Bit of that.
It's sad to know that you could walk into a shop now and actually ask the shopkeeper how much is a penny tube, and it would be a valid question.
Yeah. You need. It is. Oh. Bill says that's why they call him the Gurnu. The Gurnu.
The Gurnu, I like that Gurnu. You've done most of the
that's
talking
not why
tonight.
they call him. It's what he calls himself. I can imagine him saying, I am a guru, you know. Yeah.
Guru now. I know at least 3 things about...
I am. Jazz hands. I'm the model making guru, you know.
Mr. Jazz says, I know at least 3 things about worms. Worms. Worms.
Everyone I know who does an impression of Fox, it's the first thing they do. Hello, jazz hands.
I don't really do that anymore, do I? I do. I don't know. I don't think I do.
You still do jazz hands quite frequently.
Do I still do jazz hands?
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Cool.
Don't forget that time you've never lived it down, but the infamous white gloves, it was like, yeah, that's mockability there was endless. It's like...
Well, it was a good idea in principle, but then the fact they gave me no grip of anything was like, well, that's complete waste of time.
It was that bit in his mind where he didn't think that once we spotted it, we wouldn't mock him. It was like,
yeah, at some point I thought that was probably not going to happen.
That's a bit like Tony thinking we'd be sympathetic when he told us of his struggles with Harold Ike the Wonder Horse. It's like, yeah.
You know.
And Teeks, bless him, with his not switching his Bluetooth headphones off at the moment. Yeah, it'll be forgotten in a week. 8 years later, we still remind him every time he comes in. Right, Teek?
Yeah. Or like you thought, getting stuck under the cupboard.
Exactly. Yeah, falling out through the kitchen door where my chair broke. It's like,
yep.
I flew well.
You flew very well. Here you go, Sophie. Here's a plan of action for you. Here's a plan of action. Go to the Warhammer TV channel later on. Go to the old stuff, filter it by oldest. Have a scroll through and wait till you see a painting guide and you think, oh, I like that kit. Go and get that kit. And then watch how Duncan paints it and try and copy him. And then you'll have done the base techniques and you've gone, oh, I can do that. And then you'll know them and you can move from there. Because that way you're not just watching a video how to paint something and then trying to remember, you're actually doing the same thing so you can follow along. Don't go for an expensive one. Just get a nice simple one, and try that. See if that helps. Because that's just being shown how to do it, but you're doing the same kit.
Exactly. And by doing,
if you're a visual learner, that's how I did it. It was actually Duncan's How to Paint an Imperial Knight video that actually got me buying my first Warhammer kit. I never even thought about it, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh, A, I want that kit, and B, I need to know Duncan in real life because he's awesome. Now, one of those things happened.
2 days later, Fox put out his video. Here's how I paint an Imperial Knight.
No, I never did. And the restraining order's still in force, so you know.
Yeah.
Ow. But that's probably a good way to do it. Just pick one of his painting guides. Think, I like that kit, the kit that tickles your fancy, and follow what he does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what ones he did. I wouldn't say an Imperial Knight because that's an expensive kit. He does he does several different types of Space Marines, or some of his vehicles are quite a bit bigger to do.
Custom booster blaster, things like that.
Yeah, some of the auto vehicles there, because I'm thinking if he's bigger, you can watch his techniques and get more practice before you go and then try out on the little tiny dudes. The Space Wolf Storm Wolf's quite a nice one. That's not too expensive a kit, and it's nice, big and square. Yeah, I'd do that. If you go into the Warhammer store anyway, have a kit in mind. Edward says, they call me Guru. He said, I thought it was because of his hair extensions, Bill. And Bill says, only 18 more gigabytes of Stalker to download. Yes, Bill's going to go into Stalker 2 again. Go for it, buddy. It's much better than it was.
It's a good game. Shoot the squid. Shoot the squid, even.
Squig. That was my nickname when I was a kid. You know, my brothers called me Squig.
Did they?
I don't know why. Warhammer wasn't a thing in those days. That was my nickname in the family. My elder brothers were my middle brother's nickname was Biscuit. I don't know what my elder brother's nickname was. That's a point. I don't know if he had a nickname. He got away with it. I was Squig. I've got no idea why. But you can't really get out. You can't really do much when you're the youngest.
No, that feeling.
If you get that nickname, that's your nickname. End of. Okay. Right. Big turny wheel on the side of this cannon, Festa. What colour would you recommend?
Well, for me, for me, I've done red, but you can do what you like, mate. It's your model.
I think red is the right colour, to be honest.
You know, it's pretty much the go-to colour, isn't it, for them sort of things?
Yeah. I was sure those kind of big turny wheels had a name, but I think they're just valves.
Yeah,
I thought they had a proper name. I shall do it red.
One of them, I may sort of done mine, but then, I didn't really apply that much thought. It was like, just red.
Well, you're good with the colours theory, so I trust your judgment when it comes to the colours.
Yeah. I mean, it's go-to colour for them, isn't it? Red at the end of the day. It's... There it is.
I have no problem saying that when I'm stuck on a colour idea, I go to Festa, because he's got the beans. He knows has the beans when it comes to colours.
I try.
I've got no clue. I can't even remember the colour wheel of colour. Which is, of course, it's the colour wheel of colour, you idiot.
Well, it was when I was doing the Harley Quinn, when you was, what made you think that shade would work? Well, just, it's opposite side of the colour wheel. It works.
It's another one of those things where it's just, to you, it's just instant common sense, but to somebody else, it's like...
and it was like...
come to that conclusion?
Yeah, you was like, my God, how did you get that colour on that? Because I used this. Yeah, but that's was it an orange shade or something like that over a purple? And I went, but it just gives it a kick in the backside and makes it into this. And you was like, okay, I said, there's another shade to go over it, which will just knock it back a peg or two now. And it just comes alive.
Yeah, just one of those things that you intuitively know.
Yeah, it's just one of them. Never particularly studied it. It's just over the years of doing different paint jobs on different things, you experiment, don't you?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like I was saying before, like nobody's born an amazing painter, but some people do just have a natural knack for certain parts of the hobby.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody's ever going to be, born painting miniatures like the professional, but...
Yeah.
Everybody
I've
has
always said, none of us are experts. I know nothing about anything and anything about nothing, but I'll have a bloody good go at learning it.
Oh, yeah. You'll give it the beans when it comes to learning about it.
Yeah.
I shall give it the veritable beans, sir.
Exactly.
Beans have been given. Ooh, beans. I've got 2 sausage, cheese and bean bakes downstairs.
Oh, nice. Steak bake tonight.
Ooh. Wait, not fish and chips?
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
Nice steak bake tonight.
Ooh. Get in. I've also got 3 slices left of me Greg's pizza, but I don't think I can cope with that as well at, like, 2 in the morning. I think it may have consequences.
Finished glaze of skin tone in the world, but that's what it wants at this stage. What can I do with it, folks? As he's wearing the samurai mask, I might paint the mask up. Yes, on it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll upset all the traditionalists then, won't it?
Yeah, if it's going to upset the traditionalists, then go for it. That is what you do.
Got to do it, ain't you? Just,
if the world is made of pigeons, you are the cat.
Exactly. That pot's done as well. They'll paint, throw most of it away. Not to worry. It's a good few years old.
I'm just painting this wheel now. And I want it to be a red colour, so I'm basing it with Mephiston Red, which is a base colour, nice and opaque. Thin coat. I don't know if you can see on here, but I'm dipping my brush in the water and I'm getting the wet palette. So it's only a thin layer of paint. It'll take a couple of coats, but it won't be lumpy. Then I'll put a black shade on it, and then I'll highlight it with a lighter red colour. Base shade and layer. Yep.
Sorry, mate, I was away from the bench just getting some Festas fluids.
Festas fluids. That's just basic GW technique, that base shade and layer. Yeah, base shade and layer.
You're a base layer.
But the first coat, because it's going on thin, it's a bit dark. The second coat will be a bit brighter.
Yeah.
But it's always about thinning your paint.
Exactly.
It's always about Greg's pizza. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, no, I want Greg's pizza. Oh, steward, you.
You got your steak bakes.
No.
It's better than Greg's pizza.
I want Greg's sausage rolls.
The only problem I have with Greg's pizza is they give you a dirty, great big dip with it, which is brilliant, but there's no crust.
You're a great big dip.
So what are you supposed to dip? It's just a rectangle of pizza with no crust. It's just all pizza all the time.
That's drying.
Gave me an existential crisis. So I was like, I don't know how to deal with this.
There was a splidge. There it is. We've seen that. Even the best of us have happy little accidents.
Oh, yeah.
One paint splidge about to be covered.
Paint splidge. We came in the right way.
Happens to us all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Happy little accidents.
Yep. Another part of trusting in the process is like I'm doing now. I'm painting these base colour on this wheel. And it's not exactly neat. I've got some splodges of red on the yellow area and stuff. And it's not a perfectly neat colour edge. But when I put the wash on it or the shade, it'll kind of blend the two together and hide that.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be perfect at all times.
God, no.
If you know that your shade or your wash is going to hide some of the wobbly edges, don't stress about the wobbly edges. Especially on a resin kit where it's got very soft edges anyway.
Oh, yeah, use it to your advantage as well.
Yeah.
My twitches and shakes are great when you're weathering.
Oh, God, yeah. Chipping's great.
And, oh, mate, yeah, it's like with the woodpecker, mate. It's like, oh, I'm in the element then. It's like happy days.
I'm sitting there trying desperately to make it look random and not obvious, and you're just literally doing it randomly. It's like,
Yeah, I'll just put my hand on the model. It's like, dude, how did you do all of that? I just relaxed, because when I relax, I get woodpecker syndrome. When I first did it, you was like, hey, what? I went, watch. And I just relaxed, and the tremor started back up. And I went, there you go. Now I can start chipping. And he was like, you lucky git.
He went, I'll just chip this entire panel. There you go. I'm like, wow.
It's like, damn it.
I don't know if this will come out on camera, but I've painted this half of the wheel with one thin layer of Mephiston red. And that half of the wheel has had its second coat, and you can see the difference. But because it's a thin coat, there's no brush marks.
Yeah.
So like Festa was saying, technique is your water, you can't really see it, but you've got your water there. If I need to get some paint on the brush, dip it in. I lick it with my mouth to get the excess off.
I'm not a brush licker. So.
Yeah. Or if you're not a brush licker, you can dip it in and then just get the excess off on a bit of tissue and then just get it in your wet palette. Get it on the brush and then apply it. If it's too thin, no problem. Just do an extra coat. You don't want excessive brush on. You just want the brush to be damp when you dip it in the water and get it back into the palette, which is why I lick the brush and Festa dries it on a towel. But it's all about keeping the brush, the paint flowing. Don't lick the brush when you've used Agrax Surshade.
Yeah. So I have different, obviously be dirty water and then be clean water, which ends up dirty by the end of the day, don't get me wrong. But I should be putting a video out soon of something I've been sent that's going to change up how I have all my painting stuff sorted out. So I got sent something to review and I've done the video for it.
Nice.
I should be putting that out next week and moving my stuff around and migrating to that item. I want to then use it for 6 months and see how I find it. So yeah, so thanks for that. I won't spoil the fun. Just wait for the video. It will be out this week.
Nice. I shall look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Wheel base coated.
Colour shall I put on now? Lead Belcher, I reckon, will work.
Lead Belcher.
Just as
now, the thing,
go on.
I was going to say, the thing I'm not doing too much of is the shading. Because like typically you would then shade that and then highlight it. But I know I'm going to be doing some enamel paint washes on this, which will do a lot of that anyway. So I know I've shaded the metals, but a lot of the shading is actually going to be through enamel paint washes for me. So I don't need to go around doing all the shading on all the different parts of this kit with the Agrax Surshade and the normal oil. I'm doing it on the shiny metals because I'm going to avoid them with the enamels because I want them to look a particular way.
Sure.
More Agrax Surshade. Do you know, we've done a lot of teaching tonight.
Yeah. Do you want to go to how.to tonight?
Yeah, I'll follow your lead, buddy. It's entirely up to you.
If that's all right with the audience, we'll go until 2:30 because we're both in mid-flight.
Yeah, we're both having fun.
Well, you know, we're having fun and I don't feel too bad at the moment. So
good.
We'll go a bit longer tonight for you. So we'll go to 2:30 if you want, folks.
Yeah, we're having fun, like teaching and explaining. And
it just lets us get to that finishing point that we can both go, yeah, I can finish now for the night. So
yeah, when we can sit there and say, right, it's time to wash the brushes.
So do you have a favourite faction then, Sophie, if you're still with us? You know, have you got a favourite genre in the Warhammer world, or are you like me that'll just build and paint anything that takes your fancy?
Yeah, that's a good question. My favourite faction was Deathcore, but I think now it's Orcs.
Yeah.
Because I just have so much fun painting Orcs.
You kind of got me into Orcs, didn't you? Because of my childlike ways. You was like, Orcs would be so much fun for you.
Because
and
you
I didn't do,
I
didn't do Warhammer at all. You know, it wasn't something that was in my vocabulary, so to speak. You know, I did just to shut him up because he was getting on my tits. I went out and bought some Orc stuff because it's like he's not going to shut up until I bloody do something. And it kind of enabled me to release my inner child a bit more. And it was like, actually, I can have fun with this.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I haven't gone down the hole.
I'm glad I wasn't painting at that point.
And I've kept my Warhammer shenanigans sensible. I've not got carried away and ended up letting it, rule me, so to speak. And I'm sounding good here, aren't I? Yeah, you're not buying a word of it, is you? Yeah.
As they would say in the Warner Brothers, in Tom and Jerry, don't you believe it? Not down the hole.
You got to admit, for a minute there, that sounded quite plausible, didn't it? No?
Yeah.
Oh, and then I'll shut up.
No.
Damn it. He's
not down the hole, but you had to pay a guy to deliver the sofa. An extra 400 feet in a vertical direction.
Yeah.
He knows it.
I
We're
know
all
nothing.
down holes. Let's have a look at chat while my shades are drying. La 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 la. I'm just interested to see how it runs on the 5060 card, says Bill. It should run fine. The actual how it runs is really down to your CPU. And I can't remember what you said you're on. With the 5060, it should run fine. You might have to drop your textures down a bit. You won't be maxing out your textures with 8 gig of RAM, VRAM, but it should run right, to be honest. You'd be absolutely fine. I mean, 1440p, no problem on a 5060. 4K, you might drop things down a bit and get that, but yeah, 1440p, no problem at all. It's actually weird that I've got used to 1440p. I play on a 4K TV, but I've actually just changed it in Windows to be 1440p because everything runs nice at that. It's coming off the back of playing on console where it's all 4K, but it's designed to run on that, whereas on PC, yeah, my PC ain't running 4K games. No. So you should be fine with the 5060. Edward just says to Sophie, just don't buy a gargantuan squigoth. I think you should buy a gargantuan squigoth, but there is no painting guide for it. But you should buy one. If it has a handle, it's a lever handle, and if it doesn't, it's a hand wheel, says Bill. Huh? It doesn't have a lever, so it's a hand wheel. Don't mix the fluids, says Edward. Bill says, for pizza slices and dip, as the actress said to the bishop, roll it up and stick it until it's wet and covered. Steady, Neris. Pizza lube, says Edward. Pizza lube. Sounds like a plan. Every model built by Foxx has his DNA impregnated into every paint job. No, don't think about that too much. Scary, says PJ.
That's what happens when he runs out of Lamia medium.
The funny thing is, that is a thought that's crossed my mind in the past, that every model we build, our DNA will be in it. Because of, hair, skin cells, and the occasional eyelash that falls into the paint and stuff like that.
But you've been optimistic with me, hair.
Well, you've got eyebrows.
Vaguely.
Vaguely. You've got pseudo eyebrows.
Yeah.
Edward says, I like orcs and also you're part of the whole, Colin.
Thanks, mate.
Connor says, quick question to all in Chatland. I'm making a scale wind tunnel for my 1/43rd scale model car collection. Could I ask if anyone knows of a 2D, I think I mean 3D design software for use with a laser cutter? Oh, no, 2D. 2D design software for use with a laser cutter for acrylic.
I would look at the laser cutter hardware and see what they recommend as software, to be quite honest with you. Something probably like Fusion 360 or any decent CAD program might have capability. But a lot of them products have their own proprietary software because they save files in their own format. So
yeah, I assume it's going to be something along the same as CNC software, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Same principle. So probably the same people that do it just for acrylic or other materials. Pizza lube. That's a phrase I never knew I'd know, but now I know it. I need to find out.
Now you know it. You're never going to forget it, are you? Well,
I need to find a place to actually genuinely say it and get away with it. Dip is pizza lube. I can't help it though. If I've got a slice of pizza, I eat the pizza, and then you have to dip the crust in the dip. That's all it's for. And Pizza Hut, or it might have been Domino's, spoiled me with their crust stuff with a sausage. Because now, every time I get a pizza from my local takeaway, it's the only place in the world that does like sausage stuffed crust now. So I just buy pizzas from them. Because you get your cheese and sausage stuffed crust. It's like, why would you not want an entire sausage in your pizza? Come on. Connor says, thanks, guys. No problemo.
Oh, that puts that in shadow perfectly.
Well,
Happy days.
Well, that's drying.
Quite a treat. Quite
One
pleasant,
downside
isn't
of shades, you have to wait for them to dry. It's boring.
it? Aim along the bottom edge there. Not too fussed about the upper part because that's under his cloak. Have a few layers of known oil on that, and then that'll be in shade. Happy days.
Did you get the Assassin's Creed with the samurai? Is it Shadows?
Yeah, no, I haven't got that yet because that was quite expensive for me to get.
Yeah, it's quite new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not on GP, is it? So, look at me.
It's not on GP. Oh, you absolute gamer.
It's another hole I'm not down. Just want to clarify this.
Yeah, he's not down the gaming hole, even though occasionally he'll drop some knowledge that only a hardcore gamer would know.
Damn it.
And I point it out every single time. It's got to the point now where he'll say something and I'll just pause and he'll be like, I just did a game thing, didn't I? I'm like, yes. I don't even need to point it out anymore.
Simple use of known oil there on that. Them cubes. So that when that goes on, it just puts it in shade.
Yep. Nice.
All I want. Just a simple way of using that product.
Yep.
Same with his boot there. A couple of streaks down the side of it. It just puts it where it's in shadow and a beam of light's hitting it. It's all I'm after at the moment. And then I'll do the same with these cubes. Just to put a couple of them in shade.
Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Just say cubes again.
Cubes.
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 I have to admit that with my not very good ability to do either wet blending or glazing, I'm just not good at either of them. I need to practice more. I have tended to lean on shades.
Yeah.
To do similar things. So, for example, if I'm painting, say, like a dragony thing, and it's got like when I'm painting, what's his name? The Death Guard guy with the wing, Mortarion.
Yeah.
He's got wings that are like pale flesh, but they go towards a reddy brown at the bottom. I'm actually using the shades as glazes by getting them on and then tweaking them with a wet brush.
Yeah.
It's basically doing glazes, but it's kind of for simpletons.
Like so I said to you before, isn't it? I tend to water them down a little bit, same as the contrasts, and then I use them as a glaze over a base colour.
Yep. But it is amazing just what you can get away with. I mean, I think shades must be one of my favourite paints.
Yeah.
I found out like painting a cloak on a space wolf is just a wolf pelt, and all I did was I painted it a light brown and then built up some Agrax shade in the middle to fade out towards the edge, and now it's a pelt that goes from dark brown to light brown as if it's a proper fur pelt.
Yeah.
And it's just one base paint and a shade. It's like so lazy. I love it.
Yeah, but that's the whole idea, isn't it? Is to make the whole process as easy as possible for ourselves,
Yep. That's what we teach.
Don't overcomplicate it. You look for the easiest way of achieving the result you want. That's all I do.
Yep.
How can I do that a lot quicker and a lot simpler? Boom, do it that way.
Yep. It's ironic to think of me trying to teach the easy, simple way, but I do it just from laziness. I learn how to do it and then try and find out how to do it with a lot less effort.
Yeah, we look for the simple one because we are the laziest people in the world.
We're middle-aged men. We don't want to actually read instructions or do hard work. Come on. Men of a certain age. Did you know Jean-Michel Jarre is 77 years old?
Is he?
He's 77. Good God. He's like 9 years younger than my mum. That's nonsense because he's still like a good-looking bloke with French hair. It's just nonsense. He's still svelte and thin and French-looking. Git.
You're basically saying he's seriously windswept and suave and interesting.
Yeah. I wish I'd smoked 40 gitane a day now. I'd probably look that classy in French. Damn it. I know what I've not done. I've not put black wash on the rubber parts of the
No
wheels.
matter what I smoked, I would have still had a face that looks like a roof tiler's nail bed. So
It could be worse. You could have had a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp, so you got away with it.
My face looks lived in, as my mum says. Cheers, Mum. Don't worry, love. I still love you. Damn it.
It looks fit for purpose. The
Face only the mother could love.
face that sank 1,000 ships.
Face tells a story. It's lived in, she says. Yeah, okay, mate. Cheers for that. Not quite sure how I take that, but it'll do.
Face tells the story. It's a very long story.
Yeah.
And it may not have a happy ending.
Got away with words, as my mum.
Yeah, mothers can do that kind of stuff, though. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to paint in the gaps behind the wheels.
Oh, right, yeah.
I might just do like a very careful application of just black ink to make them really black.
Yeah, I've got some of the FW ink just to the left of me. And yeah, I tend to mix them up in little pots and use them as a dip almost, you know.
I'm not confident that I can do it without getting it all over the wheels. That's the only tricky thing there. If I did it like with Null Oil, I could do it and keep it just in the recesses, but then it'd be quite a thick application to get it as dark, because nothing gets as dark as ink. Like when I paint the inside of the turret on the top of the hull, that's going to just be ink black.
That's the stuff I use, and then I just use spare.
Oh, I've had me reminder.
Yeah, I've got one there. Sorry, folks. There you go. Thank you again, StreamYard, for that.
I've got Dr. F. Martin's ink.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just mix some of that up. But, yeah. I wouldn't mind, but it's the fact that it extremes it out as well. You know, it'd be all right if it was just a desktop message. But it's the fact it goes straight over the screen. Luckily, it goes over your side of the screen, so I don't mind that.
Hey. And it's the fact it doesn't make a noise, so unless you just happen to look like that I did then at the screen at the exact right moment because you were showing your ink, I wouldn't have known. I would have been booted out.
Would have been booted out the studio and off air. But there we are, stupidly running later, aren't we? So, yeah.
Yep. And everybody would have got like a half an hour without me talking without actually paying for it.
Yeah, we have looked at all the settings on StreamYard and there isn't one to turn it off, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
And I've emailed them and went, come on, is there a way we can deactivate that feature?
There was a little thing on the side of the StreamYard page saying, hey, would you like to come to a StreamYard?
Yeah, StreamYard webinar. Yeah,
I looked at that and I was like, yeah, you wouldn't want to know what we want to say, mate.
Yeah, you don't want us there. Right, so that's the little X's highlighted there. Mega small X's, by the way. Incredibly large hand.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
They're getting there. All done on an out breath. If I can do this sort of detail, I'm sure you can, because when I relax, there it goes, it starts.
Yeah. That's
especially
like
if I lean on the surface. There you go. Hey, we're back.
Oh, chipping everything. Well, that's for Sophie's benefit. That's where a lot of the times where it's not always a question of skill, it's a question of your brush.
This is, I've got the Psycho, which is literally a couple of bristles, but I would use a few strokes to do that. And another habit I've got is I get my pinky finger and I grip it when I'm doing small stuff so I can relax like so. And then I've got hold of this hand. So if it tries to tremor away from me, it won't. And then I just on an out breath, just lay it across the X and it will put the red paint on it.
There's one bit of advice we both forgot to give, which is don't stab your brush like that.
Yeah.
Pull the brush across the surface.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't brush it that way and don't do stabby, unless it's a crappy brush and you're trying to do a stipple effect.
Yeah.
Always take the brush. And remember, the more paint lands up where you pull the brush off the edge of the surface.
Yeah.
If you're doing a glaze or something, finish where you want most paint to be. I know all these things, but I can't put them into practice. I suck at glazes.
Yeah.
How about you? But yeah, a lot of it comes down to the brush You know, some fine details, I'll use the artificer layer, or I'll go even smaller for the broken toads. And the reason I like the broken toads is they have a big fat bulbous reservoir, but they go to a really fine point.
Store a lot of paint. Andy Preston's in, saying hello.
Hey,
hello,
Preston.
mate. How you doing, buddy? Lovely to see you.
Hello, hello, hello. Right, I think one more layer of shade, and then I can get my brushes washed. Wash your brushes. Dabba, 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 da. Quite happy with this silver now. It looks right rubbish. I just have to remember to not do much of the enamel washes on it, because I don't want it to get too dark. I have to be tactical with my enamel washes. And they're great because it's almost like weathering and shading at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Enamel washes. Plus they kind of smell nice. Straight back to the 1970s.
Do you not matte varnish between layers when you're using enamels?
No, I like to do it just straight onto the raw acrylic paint.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I don't know, it gives me a nicer, smoother surface. And
You're
it
lucky
gives
then.
Hmm?
You're lucky, because I've known of occasions where it can eat at the paint.
Yeah, I've seemed to have got away with it. I always leave it for a few days before I do it, but somehow I managed to get away with it.
But then we don't slather it on, really, do we?
No. I mean, I thin it down a little bit, and I'm doing, it's really pin washes.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the whole thing and slapping it on everywhere, but
yeah, I normally err on the side of caution and just give a very mist coat of matte varnish just to protect it, because I can be quite heavy-handed at times.
Yeah, I have done it. I think both is correct, because to me it's just a different finish. It's a different effect. The paint itself from raw is smooth, and you get a nice smooth.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I've
done it a few times to get that particular look, but usually just laziness. I don't bother.
Yeah, you're quite lucky, like you say, you can get away with it. You know, but again, we're not slathering it on, are we? So
no. It's like decals. I don't gloss varnish before a decal.
No.
Prodigious use of setting solutions, and you can.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, you know what I'm like with me decal wraps, don't you?
Oh yeah. What was it I dug out the other day? A model from God knows when. It was. It was the Strike Freedom Gundam that I must have done about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's been in my cabinet, and I put it in my little studio, and you can see where like the film of the decals is. It's not been in the sun. It's been in this room with the curtains closed all the time.
Yeah.
In a dark cabinet, you can see where the decal film has started to become a little bit opaque.
Yeah.
It's like, just even with the best will in the world.
Yeah, they age eventually.
Decals. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to get some warm water for my brush cleanage while that wash dries. Hey.
There you go, that's them done. That's all that stitching done on there. But yeah, it's just methodical, taking your time and all of that. It's what I find is just slow it down. It works for me. It works for Fox. It's again, we all paint the ways that suit our individual style, but again, just don't rush it. You know, a lot of this is going to go back over with slightly lighter colour anyway, so.
My brush water was the most delightful purple colour.
Oh, really?
I don't know why it wasn't just red, because I haven't used blue.
Dude, I've used dirty brush water before as a pin wash.
Yeah, I've done that. I used to find that dirty brush water either ends up looking exactly like coffee.
Yeah.
No matter what colour you use, so always make sure you use a different cup. Or it always looks like exactly the colour you need.
Yeah.
In a wash, but you can't quite mix it right. But your brush washes are always the right colour.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it. Yeah, I've done that before now. It's a great idea.
Great for weathering wheels on a dirty vehicle.
Yep.
Dirty, filthy vehicle.
What's the weirdest thing you've used for weathering? For me, it's tea.
Tea bags, yeah.
Yeah, tea bags. Squeeze out all the really ginky tea from an old tea bag and it's a brown wash.
Yeah. I use it to age my posters in my dioramas. Do you remember the World War II dio I did for E-Models?
Yep. Yep, I remember that.
People were saying, how did you get them posters to look that sort of weathered? Tea bags.
Yeah.
Old tea bag.
I've told the story before, but once we had to hire a van. When I was doing the detailing work, we had to hire a panel van, a box van, to move some stuff. And my buddy at the time, who was my boss, he may have accidentally tried to drive it through an entrance that was a little bit too thin.
Yeah.
And put a big scratch down the side of this. And it was like brand new van. And of course, it's one of these, if you damage it, you've got to pay a fortune.
Yeah.
So he said, can you do anything with your silly modelling nonsense? And I said, give me like 100 tea bags.
Yeah.
And put them in a bucket and just squeeze them for an hour. And he did that. And I said, right, now, we just need to work. It was a very light scratch, but we managed to basically weather it so you couldn't see the scratch. And it just looked like normal road staining.
Yeah.
And I said, so what will happen is, right, you'll take this van back now. They'll go around with the clipboard and give it the once over. You'll pay for it and walk away. Then they'll wash it.
Yeah.
But by then you've already gone.
Yeah.
And it worked. It absolutely worked because you couldn't tell where there was road grime and when it was teabag stain. It was just like we fettled with it for about an hour to get it working. I was quite proud of that.
Yeah, that's probably my go-to staining medium, tea bags.
I did chipping with toothpaste once.
Yeah.
Used it as a chipping fluid.
Gravel, chinchilla sand.
Oh, yeah.
I mix that up with Mod Podge, put a little couple of drips of, a few sort of Rhinox hides and things like that. And you just make it up in a pot and it just gives you a nice little medium that you can dab on a dio and it just gives you that gravel path. But anything from the pet shops.
Oh, yeah.
Warhammer base, the reptile stuff, that looks like coconut matting.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect for the Warhammer bases, for tumbleweeds and things like that.
For Sophie's benefit, seeing as I'm cleaning my brush, maintaining your brushes, as we said, is very important. So I'm going to get quickly. I've got some ever so slightly warm water, not hot water, because that'll knack your brush. Ever so slightly warm. Get it wet. Get it into your brush soap. Don't stab it. Just drag it. Twist it like that. Move it around. And then I get it in my hand like that and I pinch it and pull it through, twisting it. And by twisting it, you're helping it maintain a point. And then when you've done that, you can either leave it with the brush soap on it and it'll go hard and it'll help it keep its point. And then when you need it next time, you just get it out and you rinse it off.
Yeah, rinse it straight in your brush water.
Yep. If it's a very like expensive brush with a very fine point, you'd tend to leave. Or you do this, you'd rinse it, and then you give it one last coating and leave it to twist it like that, and then you'd leave it with the stuff on it. And that's a brush now washed quickly, not a thorough wash. And if you get a brush that has a plastic tube, keep the plastic tube because you always store your brush that way. Never store it that way if you've washed it because all the paint just goes down into the ferrule. Store it that way and all the water can drip out. So always store your brushes. Point down and never leave them in the cup. Learned a lot tonight, haven't people? We've taught lots of things tonight.
Bless them.
Yeah. That's what we're here for. You do realise we've actually done a modelling stream, though. Yeah,
I'm getting quite concerned now.
Yeah, we might get some kind of like Trade Description Act thing going.
Yeah, people will be going, they're not the people we thought they were.
Yeah. What's this modelling nonsense you're talking about? We come here for spider pigs and fox parping. That's what we come for. Come on. You've not even had one shrinkflation rant yet.
I know, I've done well, haven't I?
We'll be getting letters from the Daily Mail.
Yeah, I
think that's all the brushes I used.
Yeah, I think they're focused on dull royal stories at the moment, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Daily Express. Jolly Prince such and such loses his title. We blame it on immigrants. Welcome to Daily Mail. Daily Express. Now, is that dried yet? Do you remember earlier I showed you the little grippy claw that was just silver? Now, here we go. I've just added some washes.
Sorry, mate. I was just trying to paint a head.
No, sorry. I'm showing the audience.
Oh.
It's it just added a couple of washes, a couple of coats of Fagrax Surshade and a couple of coats of Null Oil. It's still wet, but it looks a lot dirtier now. I've mostly done it towards the centre here, and it fades out towards the top. But it's no longer just basic silver. And when I've done everything else and finished, I'll go in and add some shiny silver highlights on the sharp edges.
Yeah. So
the edges that will be touching stuff and rubbing, they'll be shiny. The rest of it will be matte and dirty looking. And that's just a couple of washes. So never leave things a flat colour, because that doesn't happen in real life. Trust your Uncle Festa and your Uncle Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Scary thought.
That is a scary thought, mate.
Anybody being related to me or you?
Yeah.
Does that break the Geneva Convention or something?
I don't know why I'm bothering painting the top of his head, because he's got a big hat going on it, but
it's a test bed head.
I know it's there, but
yeah,
pretty much all of that's going to get covered with his hat. But
well, you can get a feel for it as you're doing it, so the bits you can see, you've already figured stuff out. Beep, 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 beep.
Let's fin it right down.
I'm leaving these on the table like that because these are actually, that's a scruffy brush, so I'm not bothered about that. The shade brush is a good brush, so that's the one I cleaned. Goes back in the plastic tube. Gets stored like that. I'm not bothered about the point. I've not left it with soap on it because it's a shade brush. It's not meant to have a good point. So that doesn't matter. So, but I put it in the tube. It'll sit like that, and any wash that's left or soap that's left in the bristles will slowly drip out and drain away. And that's it. Because when you get a brush and all the bristles are like that and splayed out, it's because paint has got into the bristles inside the ferrule and is pushing them all apart.
Exactly.
So that's why you keep your brushes clean and keep them stored the right way. Look after your brushes.
They'll look after you.
Look after you. I just said that, didn't I? How old people that phrase is.
Yeah, it's
look after your broom and your broom will look after you. Oh no, it was look after your broom, and then Rodney says, and your broom will look after you, and Trini goes,
I've had the same broom for 15 years, 8 heads and 5 handles, Dave.
Look after your broom.
Exactly, everyone's saying later, Edward, because he's off ski.
Oh, take care, Edward. Thanks for coming in.
You take care, mate.
And then at the end of every painting session, I tend to take my sponge and my wet palette and just squeeze it out and let it dry. Otherwise it goes mouldy. I got a load of wash on this earlier, actually, but it seems to have disappeared.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, you're lucky then, yeah.
Yeah, well, I had Agrax Surshade mixed with Lamian Medium on the wet palette, and it made the sponge go brown, but it seems to have not done that anymore. Maybe the sponge just ate the Lamian Medium.
Does make a difference, doesn't it?
Yep. The thing is, right, when it comes to sponges for my what are these are Army Painter sponges that I've cut down
to
fit in my wet palette. This is a bit like me and Festa with our 1p each disposable eyeliner brushes. Festa and I have both got like 200 little disposable eyeliner brushes that are like these things. They're literally you buy 100 of them for like £3, and they just use it once and throw it away. I've cleaned this brush about 20 times. It's still the first. I even put a tube on it. This is the first one I've ever used, and I'm still using it. And Festa's the same. We're just complete Yorkshiremen when it comes to, that. So I've got like a whole pack of sponges for wet palettes. I'm still using the first one that I started using, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Because I literally squeeze it out and dry it at the end of every painting session.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to use that for years. I've got 2, one for metallics and one for regular paint, and that's it. I'll make them last for a decade.
That's the whole idea of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think in a past life, I was the dad who complained when anybody turned the big light on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the brushes done, ready, stored the correct way up.
All the brushes, so many brushes.
Let them dry out. 8 days.
I've not done a great deal tonight, but I've done a bit while you're doing that. I've basically just gone around the metallics and darkened them up, as you've already seen. You've already seen them anyway, so you can see there the metal plates are looking a bit more scruffy now. And when all the weathering on the non-metallic panels is put along there as well, it'll start to look really dirty and scrubby and horrible. And I've started darkening down the rubber tyres on some of the wheels just to make them stand out a little bit. So a couple of coats more of null oil and they'll be nice and dark.
You're a rubber tyre.
And that's what I've done. Pistons and the metallic bits on the cannon there.
Didn't use that brush. I don't have to worry about that. What did I do? I started some null oil on the plating down the side of his leg so that when I put that on, it's all sort of in the shade. Started putting the stripe down his panel down his leg so it looks like a bead of light going down the middle of it.
Nice.
Started that, then go around just picking out little bits on the braiding and stuff like that. That's all bases on that now. Same with his helmet there, go around just getting all the little red X's out. Stuff like that. They got to do the blue lines in the middle there, and then there'll be some gold braiding going on.
Looking so good already, that.
Same on there, starting the crosses. Then I can put some lighter reds and blues in, and then I've got to decorate these little internal panels then. Marbleise them. Same with the peak on his helmet.
I get fascinated by your marbleizing stuff, don't I?
Yeah. Started his head. That's just had a very thin coat of base on it, just as a glaze, and then I shall put another shade over that. And then I'll start thinking about painting the mask. Obviously, other braiding's got the base colours on it. Same there and same there. And then I can look then once I've got to this point of perhaps assembling the figure so that it's all joined together, and then I can go around and pick out details that you could actually see then. So there's a lot of it's going to get hidden on this outfit, but I've got to put all the little dots on the outfit yet. Pattern.
Oh yeah, it's got the complex pattern on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got all of these little white circles over it with the little patterning on it. So I've got to put all of them lot in there as well, yeah. But there's still a lot to do on him. But that's the fun of it, you know, a simple 1/10 scale figure that you could get hours and hours of fun out of.
It's like a meditation project because you really do zone into your own little world when you're painting something like that.
I do, yeah, because
so much detail.
You know, I enjoy these little figures. Ron sent me these because he does his figures. It's kind of got me back into figure painting. A lot of the time, I do busts like that, things like Elf Archer and that, you know, mess about with them, you know, and it's all stuff I print, sit and paint. So I've got loads of them. Different ones. I've as well got full-size figures that I'm doing. Also doing Robocop's face for me part work because they only send you his chin as the part work. And it's like, it's a bit bish that, so I'm doing his whole face. So I've got one of them that I'm painting up. So yeah, I find it relaxing, to be honest.
Is it built in such a way that you can take the helmet off to show the whole face?
Oh, yeah, it's magnetised, yeah.
Oh yeah,
which is why I'm doing it. So but part work just gives you the lower bit that you can see with his helmet on. I'm like, but people look, the first thing they're going to do is, does his helmet come off? And they're going to see it, aren't they? So he's going to
people don't realise, but you know, when it comes to something like a figure painting,
he's going to have his full face like that.
So, like a face that size, that could be 100 hours of painting.
Oh yeah, that's going to it's going to be a separate video on its own. When I build the part work and film the last episode, I'll use their bits because obviously with our contracts, as you know, we use the bits they send us. Then we could be like I've been doing with the others. I film all the modification videos as I go, and then I'll chuck that in at the end of the part work. So it's like, these are the modifications I've done, by the way, folks.
Yeah,
because our contract's done once the last episode.
When you were spinning that face around, then it was doing that weird optical illusion.
Oh right, where you can see it both sides. Yeah. But so that's where I'm at, folks.
That's looking fantastic, mate. That so far.
Yeah. And again, you know, it's a bit like the old Roman bloke. You know, you can take your time with them, you know, and that's the whole idea of it. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy them, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you've got this thing in front of you that you can paint the base colours on in a day, but it's like then you've got a day out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not get a week out of it, or a month, or
make the most out of it?
Yeah, enjoy.
You know, right? That's what 10, 15 quid figure. Look at the fun you're getting out of it. You get hours and hours of fun. And like I say, if you don't like the paint scheme, just paint over it.
I mean, what else do you pay £15 for that can last you 100 hours?
Exactly.
You wouldn't pay £15 for a video game that lasts you 100 hours.
Exactly. So yeah, they're good little figures. I enjoy them. So
yeah. I mean, I watch you doing your figures, and I look at it and think it's a bit like me when I do my chipping. To me, chipping is, if I'm manually doing it, it's very relaxing and zen-like, because I can just zone out.
It is. It's just one of them things, isn't it? You can spend a lot of time. You know, I know I'll keep digging out old Sean Connery there, but you know that figure there. You know, he's had about 100 hours in him. You know,
I'm always disappointed that he doesn't move.
Yeah, he did in the end video, didn't he? But
yeah, I always expect him to suddenly walk up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, they're fun to do, folks. You know, it's
How many hours did you put into just weathering the shield?
Oh, mate, yeah, it's at least 15.
Yeah,
and it's still it's still not finished.
I mean, that shield looks like wooden leather, which is what makes it mind blowing. Is it looks like wooden leather?
Yeah, no, he's got sword marks in it, detritus and stuff. But
if you're doing a model, put as much time as you can.
That was a week of fettling and sanding just to get rid of the seams in all the body and limbs and things like that, because you know it gets it. You got to have a good base to start with, you know, and then you know all the different reds just to make up the folds in the clothing. You know, it was.
Are you telling me that people don't have big seams down the middle of the legs?
Yeah. Unless they're wearing a pair of nylons, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, it could be a World War II diorama, I suppose.
Yeah, so there's still more work to do on him. You know, there's a little bit more on his face to do, but looks like he needs a good shave, bless him. That was the fun part, doing stubble, stuff like that. And
the shadow. Well, that's the fun thing. I mean, you know, I get a model and I've never sat there and thought, I need to get this done quick.
Yeah.
I've always thought, I'm just having fun, let's just keep going. What else can I add to it just to get more fun out of it?
Bill says he wasn't walking, he was roaming around. See what he did there? I see what you did there.
All right, Dad. Let's have a look. Edward says, I like my Raphael Kalinsky brushes. Kalinsky sables are the best. He says, which makes sense since all the colours you were using are on the model, so it blends with everything. But we did have Festas fluids. Bill says it's a Frolic adjacent stream tonight. After all these painting lessons tonight, I fear there could be ... homework, says PJ.
Yeah, questionnaire, PJ, that you've got to take to Telford.
Yeah, PJ, your homework is Roman Legionary or Samurai Warrior.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Edward had to let the dog out. Lots of great painty action tonight, says PJ. Chaps, catch you all the frolicking Friday frolickers on the next one. Ciao.
Yeah, you have a good Telford, PJ, by the way, mate, and I hope you guys get a little bit of praise and recognition for what you do, folks.
Yeah, and Sophie says her Wi-Fi went wonky. I hope you didn't miss too much.
Oh, bless you. Well, like I say, Sophie, you watch it back, you'll be able to get some tips, we hope. And just carry on being you and expressing yourself in your work, and you'll come good.
Yeah, she'll be like, yeah, my Wi-Fi fell off the moment you started explaining the first thing, and I've just come back.
Yeah, it's because of all the talking he was doing. It just took out the broadband, didn't it?
He took more than me. He did more than me.
Oh,
First half of the stream was all him. I loved it. I loved it. I got a night off for half the stream.
That's it. But anyway, folks, we'll love and leave you. Let you get on with the rest of your weekend. Again, thanks very much for coming in and keeping us two company. We couldn't do this show without you. You are a massive part of what we do, so we do enjoy your company. So thanks for taking the time of coming in and spending a bit of time with us two Wazzocks. And we'll see you on the next one.
Adios, amoebas.
Bye-bye for now. Bye.
Wazzocks, so northern. He's such a northerner.
You like that?
You like that?
Hey kid, never let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life.